to show up. See ya. Here we go. Is it buffering still? Are we doing better, guys? Let me know. Please let me know. Keep me updated. Type in what's going on. Okay, great. I'm back. I think it was just the for a second. Wi-Fi's off. Much better? Central Park today, doing a little walking through Central Park. Hopefully, I know it's going to be a little bit kind of weird in there once we get in. I have a bad feeling about the connection in there, but hang tight. We'll figure it out. We'll make it through. I got better service this time, baby. Hey, Janella, great. We got the super chats on, huh? What's up? I upgraded from last time. Got the super chats going, so you know they got those available, but. I don't know if my sister's in here, but Nurse Trish will be putting up the Patreon stuff. If you want to join Patreon, that's a huge help. That's that's the best way to stay in touch and support, etc. And also the Venmo, because super chats, Google takes a nice, generous donation from those. So just a FYI. Well, it looks good. So I don't know. Here, I'll go over what we're actually looking at right now before we go in the park. Hold on a second. Let me walk back here. Give you guys a good look at all this. It's very important here. Couple things, guys. Let me turn this around real quick. So guys, you got looking. So right now we're at the corner of 59th and 5th. This is the southwest corner of Central Park. I'm sorry, southeast corner. And we'll be going into Central Park here in a second. But I want to explain to you guys what we're looking at here in a second, all right? So I'm going to turn this around. Hey, how are you? Hey, Eva, how you doing? Good to see you too. Thanks for the little super chat thingy. I'm doing it. I'm growing up. I'm growing up, figuring all this stuff out. Anyways, I'm gonna turn this around and show you what I'm looking at. So there's the Plaza Hotel, everybody. Ooh, Plaza Hotel. Finished in 1907. That is one of the fanciest hotels in the city. You know, Henry Hardenberg was the architect. He also designed the Dakota, which you may recognize. We'll actually see that a little later in the tour. Also, too, was home to, let's see, Tommy Hilfiger, I think, has a house there. Frank Lloyd Wright lived there for a little bit. Yeah, YouTube does take 40% of the super chats. They take like 30-something%, actually, to be more specific. But this is where Frank Lloyd Wright lived while he designed the Guggenheim. Very, very fancy hotel. Let's see here. That guy with the blue suit, that's great. See here the Pulitzer Fountain right in front. Pulitzer Fountain named after Joseph Pulitzer. Joseph Pulitzer was a newspaper man. He actually owned the New York World newspaper, was one of William Randolph Hearst's main competitors. Actually was one of the reasons why yellow journalism started here in the U.S. Oh, Tom D and Action Kid live at the same time. Yeah, what a shame. He's down at Times Square. Maybe we can meet up here. But this is the Pulitzer Fountain. Also, here's a little fun fact about the Pulitzer Fountain. This is actually, hey Bob, how are you? This is actually where well, that's what they say. They say that this is where they were going to initially do the Friends sequence, the intro sequence. But they came here and used stand-ins, and they thought that it looked too big. It made the actors seem too small. So they decided to just make kind of a fountain that was inspired by this one on the Warner Brothers lot in LA. And then here you have Sherman, William Tecumseh Sherman on that statue. Pretty cool. William Tecumseh Sherman, huh? He was known for his scorched earth policy. He would go into southern cities during the Civil War and he'd burn them to the ground, baby. That was what he did. Burn them to the ground, demoralize the military, demoralize the South, and eventually help turn the tide in favor of the Union. Because, I don't know if you knew this, but the South was kind of winning at the beginning there. All right, we're gonna go, oh, Venmo doesn't exist outside. Yeah, do super chats, go for it, man, it's cool. I'm glad I set it up too. Yeah, I know, Patreon does exist, though. If you guys want to join the Patreon, that'd be great. I'm just throwing everything out there, just setting it all up. I'm just learning, so figuring all this stuff out. Let's just go inside the park, man. I don't like being around all these people holding this thing. I don't know, I feel weird. Still getting used to all this stuff. All right, let's do this.
Hello, Central Park.
It's a nice day today, man. So it's packed. Look at all these people out. Yeah, I should get mic protection. I'm going to try to get a mic here very soon. I thought about using headphones with a little microphone, but I forgot them. All right, so chill out. All right, let's go inside this thing. I'm not doing the gimbal right now. I don't know if I really need it yet. That's what everyone says, if the park is spotty. We'll see. I'm going to stay to like the popular spots, but if it starts getting spotty, just let me know. All right, 103 people. All right, climbing, baby, climbing. Let's see if we can get some more. Let's see if we can break the record. We almost got to 400 last week, so maybe we can get some more. The horses and carriages. By the way, just so you know, they're trying to get rid of the horses and carriages here. There's been a big movement to get rid of them. But, now if you actually go up and ask nicely, they'll give you a little carrot and you could feed the horses. Kind of cool. It's a small consolation for those horses that are cooped up in those stables on the west side. All right, let's do this. We're going to walk around, get in the park. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, dude. There we go. Got a nice little guy shot. All right, here we go. We're going inside. Here we go, guys. Make sure we don't. I'm gonna try to find a spot to sit in too for a second. I will be passing Strawberry Fields. That's the plan. Hopefully. Well, yeah, his birthday's coming up soon, actually. Beginning of October is his birthday. So they actually always do something. The mask rules in New York right now, you wear them in the subway, but even then, like, people are now just kind of a little looser with it, to be honest. It seems like things have loosened up a little. All right, let me see. I'm gonna go over here. We're gonna start. Hey, Jeremy, what's up, man? Ah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Sub to his Patreon. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, that's trying to teach everyone stuff about New York, and I don't know. There's a lot to learn here. One of the cool things I always liked about learning about New York's history is that through learning New York's history, you're kind of learning the history of the world, because everything that's happened in the world is kind of passed through New York in some way. So, kind of nice. So right now, oh yeah, hit that like button. That helps too, I guess. I'm really bad at this, guys, if you haven't noticed. All right, I'm just gonna walk. I'm really nervous about walking in here, about the spotty Wi-Fi and stuff. There we go. You see people fishing. It was kind of cool. People doing their poses and stuff. They're not finding people who don't wear subway masks in the subway, but most people do. There are some people who don't. I don't know. People who are vaccinated. A lot of people here are vaccinated in New York don't really, I don't know, feel the need to wear masks all the time. I don't know. Oh, thanks. Doing a good job, I guess. All right. We're gonna walk to an area. So this is a pond, by the way, guys. We just walked into the southeast corner of Central Park. Just a little bit of start. It is 843 acres, and everyone always is surprised by how big Central Park is, but the truth of it is that Central Park isn't even the biggest in New York by a long shot. There's a bunch bigger. See Van Cortlandt Park, Flushing Meadows, Corona Park over next to the City Field is bigger. Pelham Bay is the biggest. Well, the biggest here, Staten Island has a huge one as well. I mean, there's a bunch. And I keep going. Check it out. These are all the big ass buildings here. There's Billionaires Row. If you want to check more about that, go see my video about Billionaires Row, baby. Come on, plugging these things even in my lives. This is great. I love these. This part of the pond. So just so you know, all this stuff too. Here. Oof, man, bright. You see all this? Yikes. You see that behind me. So behind me you can see the pond. You can see all these little duckies back there. Can you? Where they go. Anyways, this whole area here, just so you guys, made. All this is man-made. That's one of the cool things about Central Park. I always tell this to people, that Central Park is completely man-made. All this stuff was put here. It's real grass, it's real trees. The green belt is very beautiful and very big. Sorry, I'm getting I keep getting sucked into the comments. I'm gonna sit down and look at the comments here in a second. But all this is man-made, which is what I like about Central Park, because it means that you're kind of like walking through a work of art, you know? It's like something that was imagined in the brain of mankind and put onto the like the face of the earth, you know? So like when you go to a museum and you like look at a painting and you're like, oh, I want to go to that natural oasis. That's kind of what this is. Someone imagined this. They actually painted it when they were pitching the idea of the park, and you know, put it on the face of the earth. And so here we are. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Let me just turn this around so you get on my mug. Plus it makes me weird. Let me show you guys this here. Pretty cool. Got little ducks sleeping. In Central Park, by the way, what's the guy who designed him? It's the guys who designed, two guys who designed Central Park are Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Box. So the idea, the way the park was designed was actually a contest, believe it or not. The contest, oh, thanks, New York, here I come. But anyways, the park was actually designed as the result of a contest. Oh, you can see that fish over there. Look at the little fish in underwater. Pretty cool. It was designed as a result of a contest. And what happened was, okay, we'll rewind. I'll tell you the whole story of the park, so buckle up, baby. I know there's only 176 people here, but maybe I should wait to tell the whole story. But I'll wait. Designers of the park, they were that right there. See the bridge? Oh, little birds. Pretty cool. That's a really good view. I'll show you guys the view from that bridge here in a second. See all the tall, super talls. In case you don't know what a super tall is, guys, it's an actual designation given by an architecture organization. That you, if your building is over 1,250 feet tall, you get designated as 8 in the world right now. And if that existed, by the way, is actually the we're going to get out. I'm scared. This is gonna drive me nuts. There we go, we're out of it. All right, I'm gonna have to find an alternate route, guys. Get out of this. I want to get to the nicer part of the park. I'm trying to keep you guys taken care of here. So what I was saying was that, I was talking about the birds. You saw the little like ducks and stuff. One of the cool things about Central Park for what they call birding. And, cool. Or whatever that make their home. For the, let me see, what is that? Thank you for the... Oh, Europeans, I guess you're over there. What is it, like 8 o'clock over there? You're watching this watching this with dinner? Or what is it? What are you, depending on where you are, you're Apfelkuchen. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. All right, I gotta get out of here. Making me nervous. Don't worry. All right. So this is a spot. Congrats. You're privileged. It's very. Not lagging, don't worry. I gotta get out. I'm trying to fix it. I'll figure. I don't know how. How to fix this thing? Go to I. Fix it, but I don't know. The park is hard to get good signal. I mean, we can just walk around other places too. I'm gonna try to get out of here. Don't worry. You think it's all them dang trees, huh? Works, so you might be right. Where is Ken? Help. I got a new phone. I got an iPhone 12. Give me some constructive feedback. Bad. I'm trying to figure. There we go. Is it better now? I just got out of the. All right, we're out. God damn it. There we go. How's this? Is it better? Trade in for a new iPhone. I just got. There are no towers in the park, and the more people that are in the park. Yeah, that's probably what it is. There's a good amount of people in the park. I'm just going to stay out here for. It's driving me nuts. I don't know how Ken does this stuff, man. It's nuts. Get out of here. now. Alright, we're crossing. It's better. We'll stay on the outskirts here. Thanks, El Bemble. Greetings from Frankfurt. Guten Tag. Wie geht's? All right, we're out of the woods. I hope. Keep the money rolling in, guys. You see there's like a little event here. All right, I bailed on the park here for a second because it's insane in there. So we're out, and you're looking at the park here. Once again, that's Williams Tecumseh Sherman. There's the Plaza Hotel, Pulitzer Fountain. This is Fifth Avenue. Fifth Avenue goes all the way up along the park. This is the Upper East Side here to the right. So it's this is a very fancy area. In fact, you have the plaza here. I'm standing in front of the Sherry Netherland, which is another fancy hotel here. And you have this one here, the Pierre Hotel right over there. That's it right there. Boop. I'll walk over next to it. You can see it. The Pierre is actually a little trivia. That is where Chandler and Monica got married in the TV show Friends. Look at that. All right. Hopefully it doesn't start. The internet doesn't start lagging again. I'm gonna venture up on Fifth Avenue here. We'll walk along the park. I'm gonna walk up to. Oh, your friend used to work at the pier. Maybe you can call your friend and tell him to let us in. Give me a room there. Forever. All right, we're walking north, baby. No problems, no problems. Look at us, smooth, baby. Connection smooth. I don't want to jinx it. So over here to the left, you have the park. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the park as we're outside of it. We'll pop in here in a second where hopefully it's better. But the park, just so you know, I was saying before, 843 acres. 843 acres. It is about 2.5 miles up each side. It is about half a mile in width. 843 acres, by the way, like I was saying, not the biggest in New York. You have things like Pelham Bay Park is like over 2,400 acres. So, good greetings from Oz. Thank you. Hopefully you guys aren't getting seasick. Smooth, baby, that's right. All right, we're walking. It's all good. Over here to the left, too, you have of the zoo, the Central Park Zoo. Selfish. Can you? We're walking on Upper East Side. Look at that. You see driving around here. Fifth Avenue. Getting choppy here. Zoom mode on your camera. No, I'm not zooming right now. I think we should be okay now. All right, I walked through another patch. This is funny. It's almost like I'm, it's like don't step on the floor that's lava or something. I'm trying to like avoid the areas that are spotty. I think I'm just gonna stay in Midtown, man. I think that might just be the smart play. I don't want to lose you guys. Keep losing you guys. So let's just you know what? Let's just tour Midtown. If this was an in-person tour, it'd probably be a little bit weird if people were like, yeah, we're paying for a tour of Central Park. And I'm like, you know what? Let's not do Central Park. Let's just go to Midtown. I think you will be upset. But since you guys are just watching on TV, let's just go somewhere else. Pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool out here, actually. All right, we're walking. Let's walk around. We'll walk around Midtown. Oh, this is kind of interesting. See that little building right there, guys? That building right there is the Bergdorf Goodman. It's been there since the early 1900s, but before the Bergdorf Goodman was there, it was actually a mansion. That's where the site of the Vanderbilt mansion was. 146 rooms, to give you an idea. I don't really, yeah. Oh, thanks, South Africa. All right, we're at 199. If I can stop hitting all these freaking patches, I may be able to get a few more of you guys in here, but. So the bigger building, you can see all these here. That's 9 West 59th Street right there. I'm sorry, 57th Street. See that? The flat building, that was actually, if you've ever seen the movie Zoolander, that was Mugatu's headquarters. They put a big M on it at the top for Mugatu's headquarters. It's also where Chandler worked in Friends. That was the exteriors, actually. Oh, thanks, Michael Wood, for the super chat. Thanks a lot, appreciate it. But that's what that flat building is. In fact, it's 9 West 57th Street. That's where the shoe company 9 West was born. 9 West. That is a good fact, guys. I'm going to give you guys some good stuff, even though we're not in the park. Oh well. And you have the Plaza Hotel. That's the bigger building, if you're asking me that. And then here you have the building I was talking about there. There. That's the that's the Bergdorf Goodman. And then that building right there is the Crown Building, actually owned by, formerly owned by the dictator of the Philippines, Marco family. Yes, Bergdorf Goodman in the film Arthur. Great movie, by the way, Arthur. Hey, Action Kid's in here. I thought you were around. What are you doing in here? Are you walking around here? I feel like he's just gonna pop up from behind me and like pants me or something. Hansel is so hot right now. All right. All right. Oh, you wore 9 West shoes. Well, now you know where they came from. Right there. That building right there. All right, let's keep walking. We're gonna walk down in a So this is all 5th Avenue, by the way, guys. 5th Avenue ends down at Washington Square Park. So Washington Square Park right now has got to be insane. There's got to be tons of people everywhere. It's probably a really fun place to be. So maybe it would be cool to go down there, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Sue, thanks for the super chat. Really cool. Appreciate it. Let's give Tom some thumbs up. People are probably just like, I'm not going to give this thumbs up, man. It's choppy. It's glitchy. Hey, I'm trying my best here. So here, this is 59th 5th. Once again, we're in Midtown, so you are on the grid of New York. Grid thing. I talk about this in like every one of my videos, right? The grid. But the grid was, what's with the music? So there's a little festival going on over there. I believe it's a, it's just like this impromptu. It looks like a religion. Like that. That's I think so. I don't know. Anywho, this is 59th and 5th, the grid, implemented in the year 1811, which was really inhabited. And they just saw the writing on the wall. Interesting fact about Central Park, which is right there as well. The Central Park was actually named Central Park and opened in 1858 when they knew that it would one day be centralized and everything would be around it and it would be totally. Here at the end of, we're on 59th, this is also known as Central Park South. And that's over there at the west corner. You see that there? That's Time Warner Center. It's now called the Deutsche Bank Center. Celebration. I don't know what exactly though. Are you watching this? And also, oh, Ken carries around 2 phones. Just so you guys know, Ken is like a Mr. Technology, obviously, if that's not obvious. He has 2 phones with him. So he can watch and do his live stream. Pretty amazing. Terry Heggs, thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you from Augusta, Georgia. To law school in Atlanta, Georgia. Mark Shaughnessy, thank you so much. Awesome. And Missy Lassiter. Super sticker. I don't even know what that is. I'm so lost on all this stuff. But you know what? Hey, it's how you learn. You just go out here and you just say screw it. Listen to that music. There you go. Listen to that music, baby. Pretty awesome. You see the people in their costumes. Oh, anyone in here think New York is dead? Well, take a look around you, baby. Nowhere to be found. It's not dead at all. It's so funny. I get comments on like videos like 3 months ago, 4 months ago saying New York is dead, and look around you. Does it look dead to you? I don't think so. In fact, it's actually probably the right amount of people right now. It's not too packed, not too crazy. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on the signal. Okay. Oh, also too, here we go, the Plaza. The Plaza Hotel, little fun fact, if you guys have ever seen the TV show Sopranos, that's where Tony stays when he gets in a huge fight with Carmela, sorry. Thanks, Joseph Silent, for the super chat. Still trying to figure out how to use all these things, do all these things, but we're walking, baby. Look at us. NYC will never die. You're right. It won't die as long as there's people here. People think, what the hell are people talking about? New York is dead. How's it dead? How's it possibly dead? What, because all the rich people left? What kind of loser are you? You think all the rich people are the best part of the city? All right. Bergdorf Goodman. I would walk you guys inside this place, but I think they would bash my camera and then arrest me for just going in there. Thanks, Beverly, for the sticker. Still don't know what a super sticker is, but I'll take it. Can't wait for the Washington Square Park you can stream in uninterrupted. Yes, I should do that. I'll do it one of these days for sure. Oh, look at this mirror. Hey, there's me. Cool. All right, we're walking, baby. There's the Bergdorf Goodman. There's Tiffany. Like breakfast at Tiffany's. You guys know that? Breakfast at Tiffany's. There's a Tiffany & Co. Tiffany & Co. actually started out making glass. They were really famous. They made glass in like the 1800s and went into jewelry and all that. Expanded. There's Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. This is where I shop. I shop on 5th Avenue at like Louis Vuitton, sorry, pronounce it correctly. So here we are, down here now on, this is 57th. You prefer lunch at Saks? I prefer midnight snack at the J. Crew outlet. Enjoying the tour. Here go Paul Hothercel. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Congrats on your grandchild. Tower of London. Yeah, one day I'll travel to London. That'd be great. $50,000. Saw a $50,000 coat at BG. Yeah, I actually went into Bergdorf Goodman recently just for the hell of it. I looked at I was like, oh, this is a nice little t-shirt. $350 for a t-shirt. So this is all 57th Street. You can see all these buildings here. This is all 57th Street, Billionaires Row, baby. You can see all the tall buildings here. You can see down this way. You can see the tall, they see right, the one right behind that. See that little square building there, a little square one? That's 432 Park Avenue. They call it the middle finger of Manhattan because it's so tall and so visible from outside of Manhattan, the other boroughs, that people just think it's the rich people of Manhattan giving the finger to the rest of the boroughs. Pretty funny. Would be funnier if it wasn't actually true. 250 concurrent viewers. We're doing it. We're gonna walk here south in a second. Gotta get what, Alex? We're gonna keep moving. Boy. Well, so much for the park, huh? Yeah, the residents are suing, actually. There's a whole mess there, right? Sold their stuff. I know J-Lo and A-Rod had a place there briefly. But a lot of these buildings and condo buildings, actually, a lot of the condos are being bought by foreign investors, a lot of LLCs. There was a big article in the New York Times about this recently, how all the buyers are all these LLCs of LLCs of LLCs because people are basically just stashing their money away. So we're walking down 5th. There's the Crown building I was telling you about here last a little bit. And here's Trump Tower. This is Trump Tower. This is where he has his penthouse apartment. You guys ever heard of Donald Trump? This is where he has his tower. There's Gucky, the store Gucky. Abercrombie and Fitch. They used to have just dudes standing out there without their shirts on as part of like the way to get people inside. Yeah, I used to do it for a little bit. Who's Donald Trump? I actually don't know who he is. I should look that up. I think he did something here in New York. I don't remember what. We'll look it up. Yes, LLCs are buying houses all over America and all over the world, and all big cities specifically. It's a big problem here in New York because a lot of the people don't live here. So, you know, it's not really contributing anything to the neighborhood. It's actually taking away from the neighborhood because it's space taken up. And they're discussing certain things like putting a tax on people who are from foreign, you know, companies and all that, and who aren't planning on living here. And go figure, these proposals all get shot down by the real estate board of New York. So here's a little fact about New York. The most powerful interest group, go figure, in New York City is probably what they call REBNY, R-E-B-N-Y, Real Estate Board of New York. They spoil everything pretty much because whenever there's any kind of, you know, policies being proposed to protect small businesses, to protect tenants, to protect whatever, it's the real estate board that fights them because they just want complete unfettered access to all the property and to make as much money as possible. This is the Peninsula, former Gotham Hotel. There's actually interesting facts with the early 19th. This is one of the big hotels here. Hey, Sean Tracy, thanks. And you also have here St. Regis. They say here is where they invented the Bloody Mary at the St. Regis here. That's what they say. Also, these were both built in the early 1900s. So what's interesting about this street too in Fifth Avenue is in the mid 1800s, this was all fancy, like, you know, all fancy mansions, right? So by the end of the 1800s, people weren't living in mansions anymore. It was okay for the rich to live in apartments. So these mansions were getting bought up and destroyed or whatever. And, you know, apartment buildings were built north of 59th Street next to the park. And down here, these mansions and things were turned into stores or hotels. And this is a good example. The Peninsula used to be the Gotham Hotel. Actually, in the early 1900s, there was a guy who was threatening to jump, and they made a movie about it eventually. But there was like 10,000 people just kind of hanging out here watching when that all happened. Oh, also too, here you have Harry Winston. So this is kind of interesting. Harry Winston was the last, he was the last private owner, private holder of the Hope Diamond. If you guys know what the Hope Diamond is, it's that, you know, like 244 carat diamond, something like that. It was what the Heart of the Ocean and Titanic was based on. And he was the last private holder. And an interesting fact is he mailed it. He actually gave it up to be used to be shown in a museum. And he mailed it in the United States Postal Service. It was like a ringing endorsement for the Postal Service. Kind of cool, huh? Is the Ha Ha Comedy Club here? No, it's not. It's gone. Alex Burrell, there we go. Is that what you were asking if I received it? I did now. Two pounds. So here you go. We're walking down Fifth Avenue. It's pretty dead right now, actually, for a Sunday. This usually would be crowded with tourists and people buying. Yes, you're right. The rent is out of control. The rent is out of control in New York. Real estate is out of control. And people talk about gentrification. I'm actually a little insider info. I'm working on a video on gentrification specifically. I'm going to talk to some really plugged in people who are doing things in that realm. But one of the things that people misunderstand, I'm going to turn this around to talk to you guys a little bit. Hey, I'm back. What's up? I'm going to sit down next to this fancy thing. We're going to take a break here. Whew. So one of the things people misunderstand about gentrification is they think it's some natural policy, natural like process that just happens, you know, like, oh, hipsters move in, the neighborhood changes. That's actually not true. It's actually the city's policies that tend to encourage or exacerbate or change things in a certain direction. And that's the case here in New York. For example, commercial tenants have very, very few protections here. So small businesses, i.e. small businesses, they have very few protections against the fluctuations in the market. Also, too, landlords are very free to do what they want, and they actually exploit some of the policies that were put in place to help developers build low-income and middle-income housing. Those same policies are actually exploited for purposes of luxury housing, and they continue to be exploited. Interesting, a lot of these policies were put in place in the 70s when New York was in the can. Today it's no longer in the can, at least in terms of land value and development, and they still use the same kind of policies that date back to that time. Everyone is at San Gennaro, you're right. Gentrification is occurring in London too, you're right, it's occurring everywhere, baby. It's occurring in Tel Aviv and Berlin, it's occurring in Paris, Rome, everywhere. And the reason, if you think about it, it makes sense. Like there's a cultural shift going on back to the cities. People are going back to the cities. I mean, think about it just in terms of TV, for example. The culture, like in the 80s and early 90s, people watched TV shows that took place in the suburbs. You walk in your house, hi honey, I'm home. Today, all the most popular shows and movies take place in the cities. You know, Girls, Sex in the City. You know, every city has a TV show. Detroiters, Atlanta, all these different city-based. Like that's what's cool. That's what people want to see and where people want to be. You have even like the rich people shows, Billions, Succession, all these places are taking place in the cities, you know. Yeah, Eric Adams, you're right. I'll get into politics here, city politics. But yeah, I think the important thing is that people realize that it is the city that is responsible for these things, and they can help or hurt. I think one of the big problems is that people don't realize that, so people don't pay attention to city politics. City politics are what affect you the most in your day-to-day life. That's what people don't realize. Everyone gets so caught up in the federal policies and who's president, who's vice president, whatever, when in reality, in the day-to-day, who has the effect on your favorite coffee shop or your favorite store is the city policies. And I've been to a bunch of these hearings at City Hall. You better believe that the real estate board is represented at these hearings. It's the people who don't realize they're even happening. And these bills that are up for debate and hearings don't get any attention because people don't know they're going on and don't know the importance of them. So it's important, I guess, to get involved in whatever way you can. I'm not going to try to, you know, Gandhi or Mahatma Gandhi or anything, but, you know, you got to try to get involved and, you know, figure it all out. All right, let's walk. I feel weird sitting down. Oh, all right, I'm going to keep moving. That's your little lecture for the day. Sorry about that. I get caught up in that stuff. It's kind of interesting. I really like reading about it. There's a really great book if you guys are interested in New York's changing. It's called Vanishing New York by Jeremiah Moss. Vanishing New York by Jeremiah Moss. It's about how New York has changed and how it's being changed for the sake of a certain types of interests. And it's good. The guy's very bitter and angry, and I don't blame him. But it's very, very. It's a good overview, a good starting point to what's going on. There's a great review of the book that says you can feel the author's spit hitting you in the face. There's a cool. Can you see that? Soapbox, that's right. Soapbox alert. Soapbox alert. That was your soapbox moment. Brought to you by Irish Spring. I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored. I don't think anyone will ever sponsor me talking like that anyway. I like this church. St. Thomas is very famous for its reredos. You can look up what a reredos is. I don't think they'll let me in with this, but a reredos is the area behind the altar. And this one's like 100 feet and it's super carved and ornate and very, very cool. New York's got to stay the way it is. You're right. One of the things I tell people too is a very common sentiment here in New York, especially among the people who've lived here a while, is New York is done. I got to get the hell out of here. I'm done with it. It's dead. It's all rich people and all the life is gone. And, you know, they're not wrong in that it is changing. But what I do think they're wrong about is that they're going to escape it by going somewhere else. What I've always thought is kind of cool about New York is these battles that are being fought about anything are being kind of fought on the front lines here in New York City. So if you talk about gentrification, it's happening all over the world. This isn't about New York. It's about cities. It's about the movement of capital. And, you know, it's being fought here. And I think if any progress is going to be made, the chances are it's going to happen here. So you might as well stay put and take up your shield and sword and do what you got to do. Yeah, you're talking about the architecture. The architecture in New York is pretty cool. You can see lots of different shifts. And interesting enough, I was talking about this church here, St. Thomas. So these churches here, you'll see this church, you're going to see St. Patrick's here in a second too. Keep in mind, right, you're looking around, it's all retail stores, it's all offices. Well, these churches date back to when it was homes, right? They're actually here because there used to be congregants. There used to be people who lived here. That's right, congregants. It's a very big word, I know. I'm in the past.
Yeah, it's gonna get on the way back.
So this is a really cool building here. Check it out. That's the Cartier Mansion. The Cartier Mansion. This was actually built and financed by a guy with the last name Plant. Anyone here from Tampa? Like my sister knows there's a Henry Plant built a ton of stuff in Tampa. He built what is today the University of Tampa. It used to be a hotel. He built the Plant High School is named after him. But his son bought this building, and it was actually a mansion, believe it or not. Pretty cool. Today it's the Cartier. But what's interesting is he paid for this. He paid for this. Building was bought from him. This is kind of cool. He wanted to get rid of it, and this man Cartier, who was going to open his store here, his kind of flagship store. Look at this. Here, I'll show you this. He actually, this is kind of interesting. It doesn't say it here, but he actually, the story is that he bought it with a pearl necklace that he wanted, that his wife wanted. Morton Plant's wife really wanted, and that's how he bought it, with a pearl necklace. Not Robert Plant. Sorry. Not Robert Plant. You son of a gun. Mike Slayback. He's trying to pull a fast one on us, everybody. Get him! City Island in the Bronx is a trip. I want to make a video about it. I'm starting to prepare that video actually already. All right, so I'm going to walk over here. This is all Rockefeller Center here to the right. You see all this is the beginnings of Rockefeller Center, and to the left is the church. I'm going to show you guys the same. But I don't know if they'll let me in Rockefeller Center, to be honest. I think they're really kind of jerks about walking through there with cameras and stuff. But we'll see. You love that ZZ Top song, Pearl Necklace, huh? All right. We're walking. Look at us, baby. We're walking. This is nice. I kind of just want to find a place to sit. This is the church. St. Patrick's Cathedral. There's the Rockefeller Center. That big old building back there, that is 30 Rockefeller Center, where the TV show 30 Rock took place. All that Rockefeller guy, huh? BK Brooklyn, thanks, man. Talking about gentrification, real issues in the city, yeah. I think it's impossible not to talk about it, frankly. I think if you're not talking about it, you're missing kind of the biggest issue in the city. And I think what's important too, and I hate to like harp on this issue, but it's really, I think it's the issue in the city, and it's, you know, all you guys who like New York and who really love the city and love what it stands for and the diversity and the small business and everything, you may not realize it, but this issue is what is protecting those things and keeping New York the way you want it. Otherwise, if we don't do something, it's all going to be, you know, TGI Fridays and Applebee's in 10 years, you know, and all giant condos that are pretty much gated communities already. So. You're rich, think real? You wish someone would eat you, huh? Well, it's a good time to mention my Patreon. I'm Think Real. Check out that link if you're rich. I'm sure I could work something out with you. All right, pretty cool. So yeah, I'm working on a video now actually about the gentrification issue. I'm gonna go sit down for a second and talk to you guys. We got some time, don't worry. The really beautiful Gothic Revival church. So Gothic Revival also too, guys, was really popular in New York at in the mid 1800s. So a lot of buildings that were going up around that time went up in Gothic Revival. For example, this building, which was finished in the early 1870s. Also Trinity Church and Grace Church. Also the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge, which was started in the 1860s, was also Gothic Revival. Which is one of the reasons why I think the Brooklyn Bridge is so cool, because it's a Gothic Revival suspension bridge. How many Gothic Revival suspension bridges do you know? They're mostly Art Deco because they were all built in like the 1920s, 1930s, things like the Golden Gate Bridge, for example. There's 30 Rock. Yes, that's right. Goth chicks be going to that church. Lol. That's what a neo-Gothic church means. You can only go inside if you're goth. They check your outfit at the door. They ask you for your hot top. Oh, we got 400 plus concurrent viewers. Look at that. Thanks, Roma. Cool. Let's see if we can get to, so from here, it's just a slight step to 10,000. Let's see if we can get there. Your walks are awesome. Eat the rich. Ixnay on the Itch-Ray talk, or I'm going to get my site canceled or whatever, get demonetized. Oh boy. How's the Lot Palace Hotel? Yeah, the Lot Palace is kind of nice. I mean, it's over here. I'll walk and show it to you. This is a cool building, actually. The Lot New York Palace Hotel used to actually be the Villard houses. It was actually designed by Stanford White. One of his early buildings that kind of put him on the map architecturally. Stanford White, guys, if you don't know, Stanford White. He was one of the most famous people in New York in the early 1900s. An architect who was brutally murdered in 1906 by a guy who shot him on top of his own building, on top of the building Stanford White designed, which was the Madison Square Garden. Second incarnation of Madison Square Garden, which used to be on Madison Square. But he designed this building here, the Villard House. It's very beautiful. And now it's the New York Palace. And that was one of the ways he proved himself to kind of get that commission. He was killed in 1906 by Harry K. Thaw, the husband of a former lover of his, who was very jealous of Stanford White's coolness. He was like a cool guy. He was super popular in all the clubs and everything in New York. And this here is Madison Ave, named after James Madison, the fourth president of the United States. He was a Federalist, wrote the Federalist Papers, one of the authors of the Federalist Papers, along with Alexander Hamilton and John Jay. The Federalist Papers were the essays, pretty much, that were written in favor of a strong federal government and a constitution for the United States. Let's walk down Madison, why not? I'm curious, how did you become so interested in New York City, being that you're from Florida? Well, I think that's kind of a, look, man, it's always interesting. I always get people say, you're not even from New York, or whatever, and that's true. But neither are a lot of people that live here. In fact, this city would suck pretty hard if it was only the people who were from New York. Meaning that it's all transit, it's all immigrants. I mean, you wouldn't have a Brooklyn Bridge without immigrants. You wouldn't have a Statue of Liberty without people who weren't from New York. You wouldn't have a lot of things. Alexander Hamilton would never have existed if he was an immigrant. I mean, look, the most interesting things come from people who bring them here. Sadly, I mean, I think it's a mix. Don't get me wrong. It's a mix of people. It's not just the people who come here, but it's a mix. There's a great quote by a man named E.B. White. If you want to read a really great book about New York, it's called Here is New York. And he says, natives give New York its solidity and continuity. Here, let me turn this around for you. He says, natives give New York its solidity and continuity. Commuters give it its tidal restlessness, but settlers give it passion. And, that's what I think makes New York great. Is the passion of the city. The passion of the city because, there are lots of crowded cities in the world. There are lots of cities with, big buildings and big crowds, but there are very few cities with the passion of New York, man. That hustle, the drive, the hunger of New York is what makes this place interesting, and the diversity of it, obviously. But it's that passion that brings people here. I mean, think about it. As an immigrant, what brings you to New York City? Out of all the places you could go in the world, you choose New York. Are you nuts? Maybe you are nuts, but you bring that nuttiness and that energy with you, and it all mixes up together, all the chaos in New York, and it gives birth to things like this. It gives birth to things like this. It gives birth to, the statues and the bridges and everything, but the energy is only here because of the people. It's not about the buildings and the concrete and the grass. So there's your answer to your question. I'm interested in it because it's hard not to be interested in it. It's hard not to be interested in New York. If you want anything, if you want to go to a city with energy, in the world, if you want to go to a place that's alive and things are happening, I mean, it's a no-brainer. This is it. There's no other place in the world that compares to New York. I mean, you could try and say, yeah, maybe Paris or Rome, but no one here will take you seriously, and no one anywhere else will take you seriously. There's an argument to be had about what the prettiest cities in the world are and what the, friendliest and cleanest cities are, but there is no argument to be had over the most dynamic, energetic, and ambitious city in the world, and that's New York, period. You're gonna get laughed out of the room, man. No one here cares about what you did in Shanghai or London. It's all New York, baby. and you may be thinking, like, But the beautiful thing about it is that New York's open to everybody. So if you want to do it, just come to New York. That's simple. Gates open. And it has to be. Is New York friendly? Yeah. I don't know what's chat in New York. Chat in slow mode. I don't know what that is. Oh, so the things don't go so fast? I don't know. I'm gonna go over to Rockefeller Center. I'm gonna dare. Yeah, London is just as live. Look, everyone always gets defensive, and that's fine. Look, you think London's the best city in the world? Congratulations. Every city needs people living there that think it's the best city in the world, and it's always subjective at the end of the day anyway, so that's true. London's great too. Chat stream is slower, yep. And I think that's true. I mean, look, there's no facts. I can't say that it's a fact that New York is the best city in the world, but you can make a strong argument, I'll tell you that. And I think every city can benefit from people who think their city's the best. I mean, if you don't think your city's the best in the world, what the hell are you doing there? Why are there so many lawyers, bankers? Yeah, you're right. So this is all Fifth Avenue. I'm gonna venture here into Rockefeller Center here very soon. So if you guys witness me getting beaten up by nightsticks and I don't know, pepper sprayed or something, then you know, just consider that solid content. St. Pete, Florida, nice. Oh yeah, Sita, hey, how are you? My favorite fact about St. Pete, Florida is that the name of the city was decided by a coin toss by two guys. One of the guys was Russian, loved Russia, and the other guy, I think it was Michigan. And he wanted to name it Detroit, and the other guy wanted to name it St. Petersburg, and the St. Petersburg guy won. So we're walking, baby, we're walking. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow it. We'll see where this whole thing goes, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be hopefully, you know, be doing all these things all by myself forever. It'd be nice to have some help, some better equipment and whatnot. I'd love to have some more resources at my disposal. We'll see what I could come up with, but that's the idea. So we'll walk into Rockefeller Center. Yeah, you do have a city called York there in Yorkshire. Someone was talking about Yorkshire. In fact, New York is named New York because of James, Duke of York, whose idea it was to take the city from the Dutch when it was New Amsterdam. So the British took it over in 1664 without a drop of bloodshed, actually. So you got some stuff. Hopefully my... Whoop, I want to get hit by... All right, we're in Rockefeller Center. Only a matter of time before I get tased. Ooh, $499, baby. Thank God we got out of that park, huh? That hellhole of a park. I'm just kidding. It was a nice park. My camera guys did not quit. I did pay them, all right, Robin? Good Lord. Put the nails away. Put the teeth out. Put the teeth away. I was paying them. These live streams I just do with the camera walking around so I can read the comments. That's why. So we're walking through. Why do I think I get tased? I think I get tased because this is like a private. It's run privately, and they're very protective of people filming here. And I've tried to film here before, and they come at me really quick to turn everything off and all that stuff. It's really annoying. People do go to the church. They go to St. Patrick's. I was there recently, and there was a wedding going on. So I'll show you guys here. This is the promenade channel. They call it Channel Gardens. Here we are. Oh, look at that. So this is, we're walking towards 30 Rock. There's 30 Rock, pretty cool. Really great view up there. And go to the top of the rock, you get a great view of, probably the best view of Midtown. Yes, you're right. Streamers do have an issue with the copyrighted music everywhere, frankly. I mean, they'll shut your stream off if they'll shut your stream off if you pass by copyrighted music, which is kind of annoying. Wow, we made it to 500 people. Pretty cool. This is a good time to mention that, you know, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Let's boost this thing on the old analytics, as the tech heads tell me. And see if we can get more people to watch. Introduce them to old Tommy D. Probably the ice rink or something. That's Prometheus, by the way, that statue. That statue. It's Prometheus. Prometheus was made by Paul Manship, sculptor. Paul Manship made that. Prometheus was a titan of Greek mythology who took fire from the gods. You could see fire in his hand, and he gave it to the mankind. And in return for that slight, the gods tied him to a post and had birds pick at his insides every single day. They'd grow back, and then he'd repeat the next night. Pretty cool. That's him right there. This is all where SNL, and Studio 8H is where SNL films. This is where they put the Christmas tree. Put the Christmas tree everywhere. Yeah, it sounds awful, huh? Talk about it. You thought you had a bad weekday. This guy's just trying to help the humans, and he gets his insides eaten for all eternity. So to go top of Rock, you go all the way up there and get a nice view of Midtown. In fact, this is a better view than I'd say Empire State Building. If you're going to come to New York, go up this thing, because you can't see the Empire State Building from inside the Empire State Building, you nut. You want to go inside this thing so you can see the... Very good example of Art Deco architecture here, by the way. So they're not getting ready just yet. I think they're building something else here. But you can see the Art Deco architecture. So a little story about Rockefeller Center. It's named Rockefeller Center after John D. Rockefeller Jr. So the story is that they bought this land from Columbia University, right? They were going to buy a home for the Metropolitan Opera House. 22 acres. It's a pretty big area here. And for the crash of the stock market, right? So the stock market crashes, and when it does, the old Metropolitan Opera House pulls out of the deal and leaves this guy Rockefeller, poor Rockefeller, to open a commercial center and try to make his money back. And he did. He filled it up, and this was a huge, like, it was unprecedented, the size of this place. Like, he made it all at once, and it's unprecedented how huge this commercial area was, but he managed to fill it. You have this guy giving away the medallions. I guys love those guys. Those Buddhist guys. They'll, you know, that's a huge scam in New York, by the way. You ever see those little Buddhist guys? Don't take their medallions. They're trying to get a, quote, donation. And they take advantage of people who don't know any better. So don't take them, because they'll guilt you into giving the money, and it's usually more money than you want to give for a plastic medallion that is worth $0. It's probably worth negative dollars. You have to pay people who look at it just for looking at it. It's that useless. So here, I'll show you this. This is where the Today Show is filmed. All you people who are fans of the Today Show, this is where it films. You can watch, who is it now? I don't even remember. I think it used to be Michael Strahan. I don't think he does it anymore. He does Good Morning America now. You know what, though? I will say scammers are awful. It's kind of funny, I think, the whole scamming thing. If you think about it, the scammers are just kind of, that's kind of just like a human, like, it's part of being human. I mean, if you think about it, those scammers aren't that different from, you know, Bank of America, who takes $35 from you every time you overdraft or something like that, and they put in all these scams in place for themselves. Those just happen to be legal or more accepted. It's kind of funny. I mean, that's kind of almost like a human, like, condition, or the human nature is to try to, like, well, at least in this country it is, to try to just make a buck off people, right? It's kind of funny. And whatever, they, you know, as long as they're not, whatever, it's kind of like you have a big group of people. You have a lot of people who are coming in from somewhere else where they don't know what the heck's going on, tourists, and they get taken advantage of. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad, I guess, but it makes me laugh a little bit, the forms that it takes, you know, these monks, the people with the CDs, the Elmos and Mickeys and all that stuff. I guess when it gets violent and stuff, it gets kind of scary and sad, but human parasites. Maybe those guys, someone just said that some of those guys at the CDs aren't trying to scam. Maybe not, I don't know. It's funny, I've taken, I've seen a few of those CDs. I used to give tours all the time, and it was always like school groups. It was always like high schoolers and stuff who would get scammed. And I would ask them to see the CD that they got, and I'd play it, and it was never anything. It was always just like a blank CD. So maybe there are some that aren't scamming, but I think most of them are. I got, Charlie Neighbors, thanks for the super sticker. Still don't know what a super sticker is, to be quite honest, but I'm figuring it out, I guess. This is where you go in for the NBC studios. Like I said, 8H is where, yes, Action Kid did have an incident, and one of them confronted him on his live stream. I remember hearing about that. Ken showed me the video. Apparently he had videotaped the guy in one of his former streams or something, and then the guy saw him walking around, or found him. That's actually another thing about these live streams that kind of creeps me out, frankly, is that people can just find you, you know? Like, people can just watch this and be like, oh, that's where Ken is. Let me go mess with him. Let me go, you know, snipe, as they call it, his stream, whatever. And I guess as you get more followers and stuff and subscribers, that becomes a bigger problem. Streamer, who cares about that? But once I get to the 10 million people, I probably won't. I'll probably bail before then, who knows? But there you go. This is the entrance here. You also have the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon films here. So if you like watching, you know, celebrities play Heads Up, 7 Up, or whatever the hell they do on that show, there's very little comedy on it. These days, I think they just play like Flip Cup every episode. You can check that out here. And also Seth Meyers films there too. They can only know where you were 5 minutes ago. Yeah, that's true, but then they can still catch up. They can still find you. This is Christie's. This is pretty cool. One of the biggest auction houses in the world. What's cool, little hack here at Christie's is at least here and look at the art that's going to be auctioned off. You can go walk around like it's a gallery, like a free gallery. You can get to see some pretty cool stuff. And you can actually peek in if you're allowed in to the actual auctions. I was there once and I saw the auction of Watson and Crick. You guys know who Watson and Crick are, all you trivia nuts. They're the guys who helped develop the double helix theory of DNA. And they were auctioning off all their papers and stuff for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pretty cool. Fallon TriStar Conan was the best, I agree. Augusto Canesa, thank you very much. Keep up the good work. We'll try. Like the one YouTuber walked up on you live with Starbucks in hand right after. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, it happens, I guess. I don't know. POV. Thanks, POV. Appreciate it. Los Angeles. Hey, what's up? All right, I'm walking around. You know what we'll do? I think it'd be cool to walk over towards 6th Avenue. It's kind of a bummer street. I know what we're gonna do. Let's walk back this way. I'm gonna walk over to Grand Central. Hopefully Grand Central doesn't crap out too. Kimmel is the worst. I don't know. I think Fallon might be the worst. Fallon might be the worst. I think Colbert, unfortunately, isn't that great either. Kimmel isn't great. None of them are great. Conan was the best, hands down, in my opinion. And obviously Letterman, but he's gone. Wait, which was your submit? Oh, sorry, Rat. Rat who plays Dangan Rampa. Having a hard time keeping up. You submitted a super chat? Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Dangan Rampa, I don't know what that is. I wonder if it's a video game. I laughed at Seth Meyers. Yeah, he's not great. But at least he, like, you know, I don't know, he gets... Yeah, he's not great. I agree. God, I'm just trashing everyone. Hopefully they don't... Well, hopefully no one who's connected that watches this. Well, who cares anyway? I don't know what worked for those people anyway. I did, so interesting, I did the first video I ever did was the Financial District video. And I told you guys I did it. My Bill Burr is great too. I did it almost by accident because I was supposed to shoot a video at Franz's Tavern and they bailed and I had the cameraman and I was like, all right, let's do it. So we walked around and that's how I did the first walking video. And I should do it again because when I did it, it was kind of trash. Unfortunately, it wasn't very good. Like I didn't have a gimbal, I didn't have mic or anything. It was pretty bad. So maybe I should do it again and do more in depth. It was a short video too. I think it was only 15 minutes. Conan is a Harvard graduate. No wonder he's the best. Are you a Harvard grad bed? How are? They all stopped being funny once they went political. among other things, I think. Whoa, who's that? Zachary, thank you so much, man. That's cool. Appreciate it for the super chat. Awesome. I definitely will get one of those financial district videos up and running soon. Me, Colin, thanks. Great content. Yeah, sure. Thanks. No problem. Thank you. I'll say thank you. There's a Nintendo store, guys. You guys want to buy some Nintendo stuff? So we're walking through Rockefeller Center. Like I said, it's 22 acres here. It's pretty big. Lots of stores and buildings. It's not just 30 Rock. I got a $50 super chat. Yeah, thanks, Zachary. That's so cool, man. Appreciate it. Coming to New York. Netflix should partner with me for a New York documentary. Yeah, maybe one day. Got a couple things in the works here. Although, you know what's interesting is one of the beauties, and I'll say this as a sorry for the sick plug to the Patreon, but one of the beauties of Patreon is you kind of get freedom from Patreon. And you guys may be getting tired of me plugging it, but one of the beauties of Patreon is it really kind of just gives you freedom to do and talk about whatever you want. Once you start working like you guys were talking about, work like how the late night show hosts all sound the same, that's because they work for, you know, Viacom, they work for Disney, they work for giant companies who really kind of keep a lid on what they can talk about and push their own whatever through them. One of the beauties of Patreon is you can kind of just be yourself, and people kind of support you for it. And, you know, maybe you're not going to be an A-list celebrity, but I think those days of celebrity are gone, man. So it's kind of nice. I really would love to like get that's why I plugged the Patreon, guys, because it's freedom. It's the ability to develop your brand, your style of videos and whatever. It's because you can get to a point through Patreon and whatever, ads and stuff, where you don't need TV shows anymore. I mean, what's a Netflix going to do for you when you have however many thousand patrons, you know? Who cares about Netflix? You don't need it. The Highline. I did a little bit of the Highline, actually. Whoop. I did it on the meatpacking district. I talk about it, but I should do the whole Highline. Braveheart, freedom, baby. That's right. All right, this is kind of nuts. We're walking down 5th now. I'm gonna take a left here soon into until Viacom. That's true, until Viacom or another one buy Patreon. But then Patreon will turn into something else. And then hopefully there'll be another way to fund yourself and crowd fund the same way. But I think that model is kind of where it's at or where it's going. You need help on setting up your Patreon. Well, let me know, dude. I'll help you out. It's not too hard. I can't push that enough. I think it's check it out, the Orthodox Jews doing the prayers. Kind of cool thing in New York. You don't see this in Tampa, Florida. Oh no, I'm not. Thank you. Have a good day. Yes, I should do a video in Boston. I actually was in Boston recently for the Comic-Con in Boston, which was interesting. And I almost did, but I didn't have time. I was only there for a few days. All right, so we're gonna walk. I don't know, should we go down? I think I should go down the library, I guess. I kind of wanted to take you guys over to Park Avenue, though. Let's do that. No, I'm not jabbing at Tampa. I'm not jabbing, but you know what I mean. It's kind of one of the beauties of New York. Just so you guys know, too, here's some interesting information. Speaking of Jewish history, New York has 1/3 of all the Jewish people in the entire country. It's such a, I think it was Lenny Bruce once said, in New York, even if you're Catholic, you're Jewish. At one point, it was almost half of the city was Jewish in the early 1900s. Will I do a tour in Japan? Sure, Troy, if I get to Japan. The hard part isn't doing the tour there. The hard part is getting there. I'm going to be doing a tour here very soon, though. I think I'm going to be taking a trip to Europe, actually, very soon. Europe. You can join my Patreon, I guess, for more details about that. But pretty soon that video should come out on YouTube. You're a Catholic Jew, Roxy. That's great. All right, I'm gonna sit down here in a second. I want to kind of sit and just chat with you guys for a second. Kind of nuts over here. All right, Tom in Cuba. Yeah, let's go to Cuba. Happy to go to Cuba with you. Fly me over there. Are European trips required for all live streamers? You know what? European trips are required for all human streamers. You got to make a trip to Europe. See where it all all this Western society started. It's kind of a cool trip. Okay, check it out. This is the newest, super tall in New York. The Vanderbilt Tower there. Vanderbilt Tower. Come to Zurich. I will. I've been there. My cousin used to live in Zurich. I went. Nice. Also went to St. Moritz. Very fancy. I ate sugar packets and fountain water for 2 days. That's all you could afford there. Come to Liverpool. I'll be there. Wait, hold on a second. Liverpool, Paul McDonough, 3-bedroom house here. You're welcome. Your house train. Are you offering me your house? You guys saw it there. This is a legally binding contract, Paul. You just offered me your 3-bedroom house. It's now mine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll let you stay because you were so nice to offer it to me. You thought Central Park was grassy. Yeah, I guess we already saw all of Central Park. We're an hour and 17 minutes in, and I saw every centimeter of Central Park, so we left. Sorry. Yeah, I realized that the title is now misleading. I'm sorry about that, and yeah, maybe I should change it. I don't know how to do that. So we're walking over to Park Avenue. So this is kind of interesting. So all the Vanderbilt stuff you're seeing here is that because Cornelius Vanderbilt is the man who built Grand Central Terminal. He built Grand Central Terminal. You didn't get the schist, huh? Yeah, well, eat schist, buddy. Yeah, we didn't get to the schist stuff, unfortunately, because we didn't get into Central Park. I'm sure you guys prefer this to buffering every 2 seconds. Yeesh. This place looks, look how dead that looks. Yikes. I think this is JP Morgan headquarters here. Yes, granny panties, I do. I do still do in-person tours. I do private ones though, so hit me up if you're in New York. I'd love to show you around. So this is the JP Morgan headquarters. Look at that. Aren't you jealous of the people who work there? Yikes. What's the freaking over-under on how long you last there before running out of there screaming and clawing your eyes out? Does Anderson Cooper have rights to anything Vanderbilt? Oh yeah, I think he just published a book actually about his life as a Vanderbilt. Can I flip off JP Morgan here for people who flip them off, and they'll mow me down and kill me. So we're walking to Park Avenue. So just so you guys know, Park Avenue, we just walked by Vanderbilt, which is a little street next to Grand Central Terminal. So Park Avenue, this is kind of an interesting thing. So Park Avenue used to be all open air railway. This whole thing used to be open air railway, and the street you're looking at right now used to just be open air railway when the trains that left Grand Central used to not be electric. They used to be steam, and they had to let off all their steam and stuff. So all of this that you see is actually paved over train tracks. All this here, all the way up to 96th Street. And the reason they're not anymore was because Grand Central was built in the early 1900s by Cornelius Vanderbilt. He was the owner of New York Central Railroad, and he decided to electrify his trains. Before Grand Central was built in the early 1900s, it was Grand Central Depot starting in 1870. Check it out, this is a pretty cool building. Pretty, look at that. It's called the Helmsman Building. That building was built in the early 1900s as well. It was home to the New York Central offices for a bit. So this is very cool. You can see that building there. It's kind of bright. That's the former Waldorf Astoria. The Waldorf Astoria actually just bought recently. I think it's being turned into condos right now. We're going to walk through this building here, the Helmsman Building, which was bought actually by Goldman Sachs. Like, I think it was 2014 for $1 billion. $1 billion, guys. $1 billion. And that's a deal. I think it's actually worth more now. Thank you so much, Richard Aletta. For the super chat. Thank you. My lecture, yeah, my lectures, I tend to lecture a little bit. Guys, if you like what you're watching, please subscribe, please check out the Patreon, all that stuff. Patreon's a huge help. Like I said too, I think one of the things we're all kind of getting used to is how entertainment is kind of changing. Everyone, I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching this on your TVs, and it's interesting because YouTube and a lot of these TV channels and things can't keep up because, you know, they spend millions and millions of dollars to create a TV show, and meanwhile I'm out here with a gimbal like an idiot, and you guys are watching this instead of that. And you know, and it's Patreon is how we continue to make it, and you know, the idea is just to continue to create like a little small business. You know, I'm a little small business, and Patreon are my shareholders. You guys are my beautiful, beautiful shareholders. So anyways, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but you get it. I'm on your TV, so you did great. So this is Park Avenue, pretty dead here, but this is a cool building, Helmsley. We're gonna walk through there here in a second. That's because real life is more interesting. True. Real life is more interesting. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Thank you for the super chat. Watching on my laptop. Stop drinking Starbucks. You know, I think it's just a good habit to get into, not to drink all that crap. Those things, you know, the problem becomes, and this is actually in the Vanishing New York book, Jeremiah Moss talks about this. He says that, and this is what I don't, they claim to be all about whatever, about small business, about the environment, whatever it is they're trying to claim. But at the end of the day, they're about driving out every small business that exists then and making the only option a Starbucks, and that's what they'll do. And, you know, and Jeremiah Moss talks about how the hard thing now is it's getting harder to support small business, and not because they're not good, but because they don't exist anymore. You walk around parts of like Midtown, for example, walk around Times Square, good luck finding a small business. Do I watch any other YouTube channels? Yeah, I watch a lot of history channels. I watch a lot of the history YouTube channels. I like to watch like Norm Macdonald clips. I like to watch Conan clips. But yeah, I love history stuff. I like to watch lots of documentaries and little mini docs and things like that. Sorry, I'm not more interesting than the Avengers. Well, speaking of the Avengers, we're getting to Grand Central Terminal here. And which Avengers? You gotta be more specific. There's like 20 of them. I don't know how people keep watching those things. There's like 30. Why would you even, I mean, at some point you're like, okay, I get it. You're taking advantage of my love for the Avengers. I'll stop giving you my money. It's funny because like, I hate to like sound so cynical, but these studios are pretty much treating us with contempt at this point. They're like, oh, you guys are dumb. You guys liked the original Dumb and Dumber. Here, let's release this sequel 25 years later with the same jokes and just give us your money. And it's like, when that came out, I was like, I felt insulted. I was like offended. I was like, do you really think that I'm that stupid that I think this is going to be as good as the first one, that I would give you money to watch it? How dare you try to take advantage of my love for the original movie that way? So here we go. This is the entrance through to, you can see down Park Avenue. So by the way, meanwhile, I have Starbucks for work. It's okay. I'm not trying to like take it, man. Look, man, I mean, I have to go to some of those places too. It's not the end of the world. I think we just got to realize, we just got to be aware of what's, you know, what's happening and all that stuff. And I think we're okay. Ambrose, no, I'm not saying you're stupid. All right. I would never, once again, this is the reason why we're watching stuff on YouTube rather than all the stuff they make. It's like how many every superhero movie, I was reading an article actually, how the top 10, out of the top 20 grossing movies in like 1990 to 2000, I think it was like 7, I think movies were reboots, sequels, or and I think from 2000 to 2010 it was like 16 of them or 17 of them were. It's just more and more money is going into the sure things, and you know, it kind of crowds out the little guy and crowds out any real like originality or creativity. So they just go with the stuff that they know is going to make money, unfortunately for people like me. Oh, I'm already up 100 in subs. That's cool. Yeah, 100. I feel a bit different about Blade Runner. Nobody saw RoboCop reboot? I think a lot of the reboots now are just cash grabs, you know? So we're walking out of this building. I'm going to go into Grand Central. This is one of my favorite buildings in the world, man. Grand Central. It's interesting. I'll do tours for people from all over the world, actually. Places with gorgeous architecture and really, really beautiful stuff. And they're not really impressed by a lot of New York architecture. I don't blame them. There's some pretty cool stuff over there in Europe. But then when I take them to Grand Central, they're always like, all right, this is pretty cool. We'll take it. This is cool. So I'm going to walk you guys in there. We'll see the inside of that. Hopefully the connection sticks. If it doesn't, I'll just haul ass out. Don't worry. I'll keep you guys alive on my stream. Wow, we're already at almost an hour and a half. We're at 5:58. We're locked in at 5:58. People watching. So hopefully we can get some more. Exactly right, JC, me, 13. Yeah, they're gonna go. And I think one of the reasons is there's just less competition. It's so much tighter competition. There's only like 5 studios or whatever, 6 studios that have everything. So they can't take risks. It's like, you know, it's like neck and neck, so they can't lose any ground. Your old work hood, huh? Roma, same here. I used to work actually right down this street. I think we're at close to 47th. I used to work at 47th and 3rd. I used to work at 47th and 3rd at a startup that got bought out. Oh, nice. Thank you, Watto. Really appreciate it. 20 pounds. It's awesome. Essex, UK. Oh, there's a street named Essex here in New York, named after Essex, UK. The street in the Lower East Side. All right. I don't know if I want to walk through here. This is kind of... Let's walk this way, actually. I'll walk around the side. Lawyer turn go. I'll take it. So we're gonna walk down the side of Grand Central, and then I'll walk you guys inside. I'll take you into Midtown East. I feel like I was here recently on a live stream, but maybe I wasn't. Was I? No, I don't think so. Yeah, rebooting any John Hughes movies would literally crush your soul. Yeah, me too. It's gonna happen though. I hate to break it to you. It's like they're rebooting everything. They rebooted the vacation movies. Like a year or two ago, and they took Ed Helms and put him in Chevy Chase's place. How could you do that? And I imagine no one went to see that, but oh wow, you lived here in 2000, Jay Fox. It's a different time here for sure. What I like most about the Grand Central Building, the inside, the main concourse, which is where I'm going to take you guys. I'm going to take you guys into. So this is one of my favorite buildings in the city. The architecture is just so beautiful. What I love about it too. Grant Link asked, "What's a goat?" A goat is a greatest of all time. Don't get you started on animation. Yep, you're right. So anyways, what I like so much about this building, and what I think is so interesting about the architecture back then, is it all kind of like, they kind of coalesce with the buildings around them, you know, like for example, the Beaux-Arts buildings, a lot of them kind of fit in nicely with the buildings around them. And you had one architect who really just devoted himself to the city, people like Stanford White, people like Shreve and Lamb. These were big architecture firms that really focused on New York, and it gave the city a kind of a vibe. A universal like kind of feeling and personality. Now you have these like what they call starchitects coming in, and they just kind of drop their big shiny building and then leave, make $1 billion and leave. And it's kind of different. It kind of makes for a different feeling of the city. You know, it's much more. I guess it's not as collective feeling. It's not as a collectivist feeling here. You know. Are you that action kid guy? No, I'm not. Not that action kid guy. I think he's walking around Times Square right now. But he's a good man. He's a good friend of mine. Ken. You should check him out. He's it's interesting. What's funny was Ken kind of started doing those things years ago. You know, he just loved walking and kind of documenting everything. And when he was doing it, there weren't a ton of people doing it. And there was a guy in Japan, I think, doing it. And Ken saw it and he thought that was a cool idea. Now every city's got like 6 of them. It's kind of become a thing. So here you go. That's there's the Chrysler Building. Pretty cool. I kind of told this story when I did last week's live about 40 Wall Street, because when the Chrysler Building was built, thanks a lot, Bradley Wood. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for the super chat. Sorry if I'm pretty quick, not quick enough to. Hey, Mighty Bull, thanks. Yeah. So this is the Chrysler Building. It was built by Walter Chrysler. William Van Allen was the architect. But what's interesting about this building is that it was built to house the Chrysler Corporation, but it was the tallest building in the world for 1 year before the Empire State Building took it over in 1931. It actually surpassed the Eiffel Tower as the tallest building in the world. It became the first building in the world over 1,000 feet in height, actually. It's a real beautiful example of Art Deco architecture. You can see the wings up there. See those little wings right there? Those wings are modeled after the hood ornaments of the Chrysler cars. What's interesting is the Chrysler cars came on the scene and just became super popular, like right off the bat. Like the 1920s, they exploded, and they were competing with Ford, which had been around for a while, and competing with these older car companies, and they just exploded and became the cool cars. So he built this modern building to kind of showcase his, like, you know, his like bravado and all that stuff, and it came out and was the tallest building in the world, surpassed. Thanks, Gareth. Appreciate it, man. Can't wait till you get back either. But it exploded on the scene. It became the tallest building in the world, and it surpassed 40 Wall Street, which I was telling you about last week, how they were competing. And 40 Wall Street thought it was going to be the tallest because it looked at the records that were submitted by the Chrysler Building to the city and took its height, which was not including the spire at the top, and it made it just like a little bit taller than that height. And in the meantime, the Chrysler Building was building the spire in the staircase. And then 4 days after 40 Wall Street announced itself, they pushed the spire out of the top, and it was you know, a huge surprise to the poor 40 Wall Street who got passed. Whew. All right, here we go. So this is all, by the way, Lexington Ave, named after Lexington and Concord. You guys all know Lexington and Concord, the first shots fired in the War of Independence. Yeah, we're talking a lot of architecture, fun facts here, guys. A lot of fun facts here. I want to show you some cool stuff. Let me show you some fun things here. So this is a Gray Bar building here as well. The Gray Bar building is right next to Grand Central. It used to be like, they used to have shipping companies in there. In fact, the offices to Rockefeller Center, when they built Rockefeller Center, all the architects and stuff would hang out here. But because there were shipping companies here, I'll show you guys a cool little architecture detail. Check this out. This is kind of funny. Look up at the, I'll just zoom in here. You can see little rats going up the like things. Those are like fake rats, like little steel rats. The idea was to, you know, those little cone things, right there, those little cone things are what they put on ropes that tied ships to the piers. And they put them there so rats couldn't get on board. So they did that to like kind of oh crap, now I gotta zoom out. There we go. Kind of cool. Yes, Lexington and Irving were developed by the same guy. His name was Samuel Ruggles. Samuel Ruggles was the guy who developed Gramercy Park. Nice work, Ken. Ken's in here. Ken, are you done walking, dude? Should come meet up if you're around. Chad Nardine, $10, baby. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Ah, hey, Tom. Greetings from New Jersey. Great name, Tom. Appreciate it. Ambrose is too high to see anything passing by on street level. Smoking too much of those doobies, huh? Yeah, I know, you meant probably too high altitude-wise, I get it. All right. Yeah, Jay Fox, it's a cool detail. A lot of people in New York don't notice. It's right there. We're right under it, little rats. Kind of cool, kind of fun. All right, let's walk into this thing. All right, guys, if the connection starts crapping out, just patience. I'll come back out. I'll run out crying and screaming, and get you back to a place where we can talk and chat and be forever young and forever together. Hold on, so let me show you something real quick before we go in there. Wait, what did Ken say? Done walking like 30 minutes ago. Can't meet up though. Dang, Ken, rejected. That hurt. Let me show you here. You can see you guys see that building there? That building right there, that is the Secretariat Building of the UN. Pretty cool. Secretariat Building of the United Nations, which was opened there in the early 1950s. All right, now I gotta get this freaking zoom out. There we go. All right, let's go inside. I'm scared, guys. I'm really scared. Thanks, Ken. My connection has been okay, I think, this time around, which is nice. All right, we'll walk through. Show you guys the grand concourse, main concourse. Sorry. Main Concourse. Angela, how do you have to go? You have to go get some work done. Quit your job. What are you doing? You got to quit that job. If they're not going to let you watch my stream, just quit your job. For the love of God, what are you doing? I'm just kidding. Don't quit your job. All right. Into Grand Central we go. I'm going to walk through the little marketplace here. Let's do it. It's nice and quiet in here. Usually sticks. Okay. Well, if it stinks, I'll get out of here. Ken, you watching my stream? That's the only thing you can do, huh? You're glued. You're glued. Ken, pray for me that my connection doesn't crap out in here. All right, we're on our way in that French. We're doing it. I'm scared. I'm scared crudless. Hopefully, we're at 585 people. I don't want to lose any people because we're about to get over 600. Oh, mute music? How do I do that? Oh, crap. We'll be out of here soon. All right, we're almost out. 603? Hell yeah, we did it. Heck yeah, sorry. Keep this PG. San Francisco. So on a busy day, back in the day, this train station, or sorry, train terminal would see, you know, close to like 700,000 people, which is around the population of San Francisco. All right, we're out of there anyway. Don't worry about it. Okay, guys, we're going inside. I'm scared. Let me know if it's a problem with the connection. But this is my favorite interior in New York City. You're about to see it. If you've never been to New York, this is the place you got to go. One of the places you have to go while you're here, maybe a little touristy, but it's worth it, is Grand Central Terminal, the main concourse, and that's where we are now. Main concourse coming. This is my favorite. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. No connection issues. Little Action Kid, stop stealing viewers from Tom's channel. Ken's in here just trying to poach people. That's messed up, Ken. Nah, he would never. Check it out, guys. Here we are. Main concourse, Grand Central. So this is the main concourse. What you're looking at is 120-foot ceilings here. This was once again built by Cornelius Vanderbilt. Here in the center there, you have the little clock there. That's white opal faces. It's a really cool, like little information kiosk. You go ask people there. And it's also too the kind of the main terminal here. I'll show you behind me is the information for all the trains. So this is a commuter station of New York. So if you lived in the suburbs of New York, so for example White Plains or parts of Connecticut, further north, like all the bankers and stuff live in Greenwich and all these places, this is where you come into. So it's a very, very important station. Here you have all the information for the trains. They just got digitized actually, like in the last 2 years. They used to be little flipping like number things. Over here you have these 60-foot windows. They're actually tubes. When we see someone walking through there, I'll point it out because you can actually walk through there. A ton of movies were filmed through here, man. Like North by Northwest. These are the escalators. Have you ever seen Carlito's Way? Brian De Palma film, I believe, with what's his face? Al Pacino, with a really cool scene on those escalators. You have here the white opal faces. On top of it, you see a little acorn. Little acorn is the symbol of the. It's the symbol of the Vanderbilt family, because from a tiny acorn of hard work can grow a mighty oak, or at least that's what they think it was. Hey, what's up, man? Fisher King is also a movie that filmed here. Friends, Flash Mob scene here. Madagascar, North by Northwest. Yeah, tons of movies have filmed here. So I get off to the side here. but a really cool ceiling too. Check it out, the ceiling there. Oh, go figure. After I started doing my music, my mood ambiance music, people left. Now we're at 592. Well, those people just couldn't handle the realness of good riddance. But you see over there it says Campbell Apartment. Campbell Apartment says that because there was a actual apartment there for a guy named John Campbell, who was one of these shareholders of New York Central. It was actually a cocktail bar for a long time. I think they closed it down recently because it got bought by like a nightclub developer, and they think they were going to develop it into like a nice fancy bar or lounge. The ceiling, someone was asking about the ceiling. This here is called Constellations by Paul Helou. Constellations by Paul Helou was actually, oh, Gerber bought it? Okay. So Constellations by Paul Helou. Paul Helou was the artist. Those are actually the constellations from March to October. and interestingly enough, an astronomer, let me turn this around. An astronomer, yeah, it's backwards, that's right, it's backwards. So what happened was, it was an astronomer pointed out that, the idea was you were looking up at them, right? But an astronomer pointed out they were actually reversed, and when they brought it to the attention of the people who ran the station, the people on the station were like, that's because you're looking at it from God's point of view. Pretty good save, no one really bought it, but whatever, you're gonna make up something, yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, so this is it, pretty cool. That's Paul Helou. It actually was pretty nasty, so I'm gonna show you guys something. This is a cool little thing. So it was pretty nasty up until like the late 90s. They did like hundreds of millions of dollars renovation to the station. And up until the late 90s, it was really, the station was kind of a dump. And it was really dirty on the ceiling actually from years of people smoking in this terminal. And one of the things they did, I will visit Snug Harbor actually, that's Casio, let me show you something. There you go, you'll see this, I'm gonna zoom in, you'll see the little patch there. You see that little patch, guys? See that little patch right there? That little black patch is actually what the whole ceiling used to be colored like. They left that black patch on purpose to show you how dirty the whole thing used to be. So that little black patch is what the whole ceiling looked like. Pretty cool. A lot of people don't know that's there. I show that to people who live in New York and they're always like, oh, that's really cool, man. And they say, stop talking to me, you freak. And then they just, you know, throw their coffee in my face. That's right, cigarette smoke. I got some military guys here. They saw me live streaming. They sent the National Guard after me because I'm live streaming. But I think I hit it well, so they passed right by me. They're on my tail. So I gotta get out of here. Good connection, thanks, Liam. So I'll show you guys some more stuff. Let's get you guys a nice little view up here too of the whole thing. Why is there military? Because it's a tourist part of the town. There's tons of military in all like the touristy parts of New York now. Because they're looking for live streamers actually. They have snipers set up. So if I actually surpass 700 streamers, they'll gun me down in the middle of Grand Central. All right. Ah, thanks, Patricia, for putting the Patreon there. Yeah, I'm going up the stairs, baby. So the stairs that are original, good question, Shannon. The stairs that are original are the ones that I'm on right now. The ones on the other side that we're looking at are the ones that are not. Very good question, very knowledgeable, because those stairs were put in actually with the remodeling in the 1990s actually. So they built those stairs over there with the remodeling. Another little fun fact actually is that in the 1950s, so in like the 1950s, around that time, this whole area here used to be a very popular meeting area. And they would like watch like the Kennedy funeral up here. They watched John Glenn in space, all kinds of stuff. And one of the things they did was to get people excited for the space race. They stood a rocket ship up end to end right here in the terminal to get people pumped. You can actually see pictures of it online. And on the thing, and up there in the ceiling, you can actually see a dent because it was made a dent. It made a dent in the ceiling. Right there, you see it? It made a dent in the ceiling when they put all the fasteners and stuff, and it's still there when they put that rocket ship up. Kind of cool. All right, let's zoom down. Oh, love from India. Thank you. I want to go to India one day. The escalators are not original. That is not, no. Isn't there some sort of food court? Yes, I'm actually going to take you guys down there now. I'm a little afraid of the connection down there. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't get gunned down by snipers. That's another thing, they'll gun you down with snipers if your connection is bad. It's too bad. The building is so clean, do they sanitize every day? No, they do not sanitize every day. You're not sure about the service down here? Well, we're about to find out. Thanks, Dave has to go. I know some facts. And I'm not even giving you everything. I don't want to bore you guys to death. I'm glad you've been watching my tours for the pandemic. Here we go, food court, baby. Oh, this is a scary moment. All right, I'm scared. If it craps out, just give me a chance to get out of here. Don't leave. So this is interesting because this used to be the ticket area for the regular local trains, right? The ticket area upstairs is now the local trains, but it used to have interstate travel here at Grand Central Terminal, but it doesn't anymore. And now because of that, they didn't need 2 ticket areas. So they moved all the tickets upstairs, and then down here, they could turn into a food court. There's actually a Shake Shack over here to my left. A little Shake Shack, yay! Yeah, I'm sure, someone said Anderson Cooper on Colbert, I'm sure the entire Vanderbilt fortune is gone. No way. I'm sure they still got some money. But yeah, Vanderbilt was very rich when he was alive. So this is cool. So this is an area, this is kind of I'm going to show you guys, this is a little secret of the terminal. So this is what's called the Whispering Gallery. This is a little more fun to experience in person, unfortunately, but this right here is Guastavino tiling. You'll see these in lots of buildings from the early 1900s that are Beaux-Arts buildings. But this creates an echo, actually. And what they call it the Whispering Gallery is because if you stood over there in that corner and put your nose to the corner and you spoke and whispered something, it carries the sound all the way over to the opposite one. And it's pretty funny because you'll see people constantly trying to hear they're doing it wrong or whatever. And people will, propose to their girlfriends here and things like that. So it's kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna sit down for a second. Let's sit and chat, guys, huh? How about that? You guys want that? Huh, guys? You guys want to sit and talk? I feel like I'm talking to I'm babysitting, sorry. Let's see if we can go somewhere. There is Shake Shack everywhere now. It used to be a smaller, oh, let's go get, now it's a massive, it's like in Dubai or whatever. All right, let's go upstairs and maybe head outside, I guess. There's nowhere to sit here. Yeah, I'll sit and talk for a second. There's nowhere to sit in this station. They do that on purpose, just so you know. It's kind of unfortunate. Let's chat. A little sit-down chat, never hurt anybody. We're at Grand Central. You guys got to see pretty much the... We'll go to a nice quiet area and sit and talk. We'll go back out to Midtown. All right, let's go back to Midtown East. We'll talk about that. 601 people. Does NYC still have restrictions? Yes, you have to have, I think restaurants and bars are requiring you to show proof of vaccination to get in. I think comedy clubs and stuff as well. So the subway and stuff, but people still wear it for the most part. Best oysters in town. The oyster bar that we just saw is pretty good. I think it just reopened. I'm not sure. It might have been closed just now, but I think it just reopened recently. It's supposed to be really good, but I don't know why anyone would eat seafood when you're not actually next to the water. It kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. You want it as fresh as possible, right? All right. Sorry, I'm flying. I'm walking too fast. People are gonna get seasick. Speaking of seafood, will I be doing Greenwich, Connecticut one day? Hopefully, I don't know. I think one of the next ones I'll do is maybe Greenwich Village, all that stuff. I learned the hard way today. I was being very ambitious trying to do Central Park, but the connection's always a mess. And I swung big. I swung big and I lost, but I tried. Yes, they do. They do that at the McDonald's. They also do that in the subway. If you look at the seats in the subway, they have armrests. They have all these things to keep people from actually laying down. Oh yeah, so you're talking about sick plugs, guys. Casio. I did a video of Grand Central. You can learn a ton about Grand Central in that video. I've done videos of a lot of the places we did. I did a video of Midtown 42nd Street. I did a video of Midtown 5th Avenue. I did a video of Billionaires Row. I did a video of Central Park. I did a video of Seneca Village in Central Park. I've done a lot of videos of these places we talked about. So if you want to get more details and stuff of what we saw, check those out. Do I plan to do scheduled streams? Maybe. Oh, greetings from original Amsterdam. Cool. Maybe one day. It is kind of like, it's still a work in progress, if you haven't noticed. We're back here on Lexington. I'm going to go over to towards Midtown East and we'll maybe take a seat around there. Show you guys some cool stuff. So one of the things about, yeah, the Flatiron would be cool. There's some stuff to look at around there. Also Union Square. Those places are more interesting usually for the people and stuff you see. All right, let's keep going. So we're walking east now. You can see the Secretariat building there in the distance. I'll show you guys a couple cool things here and then we'll end it soon. Any questions, guys? Any questions you guys may have, let me know. Let it rip. Happy to answer. Sorry if it's a little shaky. I just using the looking. Hey, thanks, Ronald. I'm getting better at this. You know, I hate to say it. Aside from all the technical stuff, which is pretty brutal, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Best hidden tiki bar. I used to go to a place called Otto's Shrunken Head. It's like this divey tiki bar on 14th Street, right across from Stuyvesant Town. Stuytown. Relax, slow down. Thanks, Mighty Bull, I will. But people look at me walking all slow and they're creeped out, so I get it in my head. I'll slow down, Mighty Bull. I was telling you guys, I don't know if I told you guys this in the last live we did in Lower Manhattan, but okay, hey, what's up, man? I did a live in Lower Manhattan. I was talking about the bull, the charging bull of Wall Street. This might be cool for you, Mighty Bull. The charging bull of Wall Street. So it's based on the bull, like a bull market, right? Bull market is when the market is on the rise, right? When the stock market is on the rise, that they call a bull market, and a bear market is when it's going down. And one of the things they say, the reason why that's the case, why they gave the bull and bear, because bulls, when they attack you, move their heads upwards to gore you. You know, they move their heads up. And when a bear attacks you, they stand on their hind legs and slap down at you. So that's why they say they gave those names to the stock market. Ah, what? You guys learned something? What a coincidence. I'm trying to teach something. Isn't that crazy? What's the best? Lord, still don't have a place. Well, I found my place right now on Craigslist, believe it or not. I live with roommates in Ridgewood. Craigslist. There's a thing called Gypsy Housing on Facebook. There's a listings. It's called the Listings Project. They send out a weekly email on Wednesdays with all these listings. That's pretty good. I'm gonna try to find a place where we could sit and chat. I want to show you guys something pretty cool here too. This is something I kind of get a kick out. Yeah, now you know why it's called a bull market. Now if you go to Trivia Burger Croissant and that's the question, and you hear that answer, and you hear that question, and you know the answer, you're gonna remember this. You're gonna remember this face. This face. This is the face you're gonna remember when you get that question about the bull market and bear market. Sorry, everyone's looking at me like a weirdo. Tudor City, yeah, let's go to Tudor City. I'll go to Tudor City, sorry. All right, we're walking, baby. I want to show you guys this building here real quick before we How is it living with roommates in your 30s? What are you, my dad? Get out of here. Yeah, well, welcome to New York, man. That's kind of one of the prices you pay for living in New York. Yeah, don't get, you know, for the rent I'm paying too, it's the saddest part about it. I could probably have like a palace and, you know, in a smaller city, in you know, Indianapolis or wherever. All right, here we go. We're moving. Let's get here. I'll show you this building here. This is kind of cool. See this building here? Yeah, that building right there is the Daily News building. If you guys know who like Jimmy Breslin is, there's a really great documentary actually called Deadline Artists. It's on, I believe it's on Netflix, but it's about Jimmy Breslin and Pete Hamill. They're two very, very, very important columnists here in New York. They wrote on everything in like the 70s and 80s. They were super important in New York. That was back when people turned to columnists for, you know, to make sense of things. And you should check it out. And this is the Daily News building where Breslin worked. Yeah, it's true. New York is $3,000 for a room closet. It's very expensive. Are there many Nicaraguans in New York City? Actually, no, believe it or not, there are not. There are tons of Nicaraguans in Florida, and there are tons of Nicaraguans in California. Not a lot in New York, believe it or not. So let's cross here. I'll show you guys this really cool thing. So this is a little secret here. First of all, this is a Pfizer headquarters here, Pfizer. In New York, started in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, by the building. Everybody, Helmsman Building, and you can see the globe in there. I'll show you guys a more close-up view. I don't think they'll let me in filming, but you can see the globe from the movie Superman with Christopher Reeve, not the one of the billion ones they've come out with since, with like, you know, I don't know who they're, Henry Cavill or Cavill or whatever the hell, and all these people where they got to play. I think Nicolas Cage played him in one, who knows, but the real ones, Christopher Reeve. This is where the Superman building was. This is where Clark Kent worked. Look, there's the globe. Pretty cool. Oh. Did I have my own place when I was a lawyer? Yes, I did. Thank you for reminding me. Not Superman versus... I don't know. I don't think so. I think I always have one foot in. Check it out. You get a nice view here of the Chrysler Building. It's a little bright, I guess, a little blown out. So we're walking on 42nd Street. There you go. Pfizer World Headquarters. See that? It says Pfizer World Headquarters. You guys know what Pfizer makes, huh? They make Viagra. So this is the building that all you bonerless people can thank for Viagra. Sorry. All right. This is where all the impotent people make their pilgrimages to every year to thank the heavens for Viagra. All right. This is 42nd Street, also known as Boner Street, Boner Avenue. Would I tell my younger self to go to law school? Not to go to law school? Probably. I'd tell my younger self to do rather than just kind of give up and go to law school. I think one of the interesting things about law school is it's unlike a lot of other grad schools in that people kind of go to law school not knowing what they want to do, which is kind of insane if you think about it. But who goes to medical school not knowing if they want to be a doctor? You finish 3 years of law school and you're lawyers. I think the thing is, they look at all these people who do different things with their law degree and they're like, oh, you can do anything you want with a law degree. But the truth is, you can, but you have to turn your back on the reason you went to school. And you kind of have to start from scratch just like everybody else. So it really doesn't help you much to go to law school. Anyways, it was kind of a, whatever. It was good. I don't regret it, but I definitely give people advice to think about it. Oh, the pipe with steam. That's a good question. So that's a very common New York question. The pipe with steam coming out of it is the heating system in the city. So it's like a city-run heating system. The steam pipes, those are there letting steam out. When there's any kind of pressure buildup underground, they have to let that pressure out, or there's explosions. And there's been explosions, actually. There's a big one in Chelsea, I think like in 2006. It was a really, really big, money isn't everything, you're right. Yeah, it is same with some doctors, true. But, you know, you got to be pretty sure you at least like medicine rather than to go to 4 years. Gosh, that's loud. Holy Lord. Yeah, it's the steam run heating system. So you got those big old things. There we go. We're going up to Tudor City, guys. We're gonna take you guys up here. It's a nice little place to sit down and chat. That was a loud car. You're right. It's a course of study. I agree. Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna sit here in a second, or stand, or whatever the heck. We're at 2 hours. We made quite a little walk here, guys. I can't believe we're already here. Oh, thanks, David. I appreciate you liking the live streams. They're new for me as well. I'm gonna try to get to a good spot here. Visiting New York next year from the UK. Any advice? See the stuff outside of Manhattan. That's my advice. Go to Queens. Go to Brooklyn. You know, see all the cool stuff and all the famous stuff, but definitely get out of Manhattan. Go see Queens. Going to Manhattan and just spending all your time in Manhattan would be like going to Los Angeles or whatever and just staying in Beverly Hills. It's got a lot of like the history and stuff, unlike Beverly Hills, I guess, but it does have it's all rich people. It's all, you know, it's not as diverse, at least the people who live here. The people that are living in neighborhoods in Queens, they're living in you know, Brooklyn and whatnot. It's a nice little view here. There's the Secretariat building, the UN. That's actually land that was acquired by Rockefeller and given over to the UN. Wallace Harrison was the architect. Really cool international style. Flushing is a very cool, hey Pierre, what's up? Flushing is a very cool neighborhood. It's Chinatown, probably the bigger Chinatown than the one here in Manhattan. Yeah, they don't allow video, I don't think, in the cloisters. This is the UN. There's, over there, you can see Queens. That's all Queens, that's Long Island City. I'm gonna find a place to sit down. Take a little break, take a little load off. All right, 5:30. People are starting to bail. They're starting to get tired of me. I get it. Believe me, it's been 2 hours. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, but we're not done yet. So stick around. I'm gonna do a nice little sit down, relaxing sesh here, as the kids say. Scott, I don't blame you. I mean, look, I'm not saying Beverly Hills is you know, terrible. I'm just saying it'd be a crime if that's all you saw of New York. I'm sorry, of LA. UN doesn't have official tours yet. I don't know actually if they do. AK showed us Flushing Chinatown lately. Some stream, thanks. Hermes Addict. Take a break. Thanks, Scuffed. Being Lee, I will. If I can find a place to sit. I think I see a place. I'm gonna go sit here in a second. Yeah, that's right. Sarah lives in Long Island City. That's right. Sticking with me to the end. Thanks, Sue. Went to the UN building for National Day of Happiness. All right, we can find some chairs here. Ah, crud. I can't get in that way. All right. I'm gonna go set this up somewhere. It's coffee time. You're right, Daryl. It is coffee time. All right, let me go find place to set up my thing here. Over here's good, I think. New York Giants suck. Oh boy. Rio's coming in here with some aggressive opinions. Do you think that the research skills that you picked up in law school are the same skills that you're using now? Kind of, I guess. I've always liked to read. I always like to study stuff, and I guess that helps. So yeah, I'd like to read. I'm also always reading. I actually have a book in my bag right now about a city in Europe that I may be visiting very soon. Wink, wink. Open to the public. Yes, they are open, but there's a lot of people in there. I don't want to creep everyone out. I think I'm just going to try to get a spot where I'm not in front of so many people. I can set up this camera. Yankees or Mets? I'm really a huge baseball fan, to be honest. I kind of like the Mets a little bit, though. The Yankees, I've always been more of a underdog guy, to be honest, and much money and they just buy everybody. Sorry. All right, here we go. Find a spot here. So this guy's singing. How long have I been in New York? I've been in New York 13 years. Oh, walking commuter was talking nice about me. That's nice. I've been in New York for 13 years. I lived in the East Village when I first got here. I lived there for a few years when I was a lawyer, when I could afford it. And then when I was planning on leaving, I moved to Greenpoint. I lived there for 6 years. And then I moved to Bushwick for a year. And then I moved to Ridgewood. Now I've been there for, I think like, crap, almost 3 years, I think. 13 years is, yeah, it's pretty long, I guess. I'm gonna try to find a place to sit and just chop it up, I guess, as someone just wrote with you guys. I'm gonna find a place here. Oh, here we go. Oh. I just, I think I got, all right, let's sit here. I guess we get here. What made me become a comic? I don't know. When I first got to the city, I was looking for other stuff to do. I took, turn this around. All right, look at that, right in front of the UN, baby. We're gonna end this thing around here. But yeah, someone was asking me what made me want to be a comic. When I first got to New York, I hated law, and I really wanted to do something else. So I started taking classes. I took a writing class. I took improv classes. I took everything. I actually took a stand-up class, and I really liked it. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. So I just started bouncing around, met a lot of cool people, made a lot of good friends, and did all that at night. I would literally leave the law job every single night and go straight to shows and open mics for years. Started auditioning for stuff, actually booked a couple cool things, signed with a good agency, and then I left. And I had savings. I blew through my savings pretty quick, you know. I started work as a tour guide, and that's how it happened. In fact, another comedian turned me on to tour guiding. His name's Tim Dillon, who's actually playing the Beacon Theater now in a couple weeks, which is a huge theater here in New York. He was actually a tour guide, and he helped me set up and helped me, you know, take the test and walk me through it. Do I miss law? Not really. There's a short answer, not really. Write a book. I want to. One day I will. Where am I from originally? I'm actually from Tampa. Grew up in Tampa. I was born in Philadelphia, actually. I was there for 8 days, so don't call me a Philadelphian. I'm actually Nicaraguan, baby. I'm actually Nicaraguan American, so first generation. First generation. And sí, puedo hablar español. Si quieren, podemos hacer todo esto en español, me da igual. Entonces quizás en el futuro voy a hacer estos videos en español, pero hasta ahora no tengo el tiempo, entonces tienen que sostenerse con estos videos, okay? Sorry, I speak a little Mexican, you know. Let me go here, see here. Will I ever go to Montauk? Hopefully one day. All right, I'm going through these questions, guys. This is nice. I always like doing these. Need money to run for office, that's right. Need more and more every day. You know what you do, sooner won't know my name, maybe, who knows. I'm making a living now, which is nice. So you guys to do stand up, I'm just going through the questions, seeing what you guys do. I miss law? No. Thanks for the Spanish videos are gold. Yeah, one day I may be able to make more. That's one of the things I want to expand on, make more stuff in Spanish. It's hard. I don't have time. I have to edit everything myself and all that stuff. I actually have a video I'm editing now. I'm editing the last video I shot. It's Battery Park City, actually. I am a Tampanian. Yeah, I'm a Tampanian. When will I cut my hair? Never. I'm never gonna cut it. I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna be like Carrie Fisher. I'm just gonna have these two buns in my hair like this, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So, you know, sorry. I played Caroline's. Yeah, I've done Caroline's a few times. It's a pretty fun place. I've never headlined Caroline's, but you know, who knows one day. Yeah, I'm a little more relaxed this stream. It was a little less hectic, a little less stressful. I figured I upgraded my service. So that helped. Ken showed me a little app that I could get to test my stuff. Did that. How much do I read per day? I read every day. I'm always carrying on a book. I'm carrying on a book right now about a city in Europe that I may be covering very soon. Wink, wink. I'm not good at winking, but you get the gist. It's a really cool book. Take more time out of my sister's day and make her edit. Come on, Pierre, don't make me feel guiltier than I already do. Where's Stuart? He doesn't do these videos. I only do the video taped videos with him because I have to pay him, and also this way I can read all the comments and stuff with you guys, so I don't have to bug him. You could do live streams. I'm gonna try to do one a week. I think I'm gonna try to do one live stream a week. We'll see what happens with that. That's kind of the plan. Come to Cambridge, Massachusetts. I was just in Boston. I was in Boston, right nearby. Real men wear buns. Didn't know that. Thanks for the factoid. Hermes addict. Does the city start with a D and ends with an Erlin? Maybe. Jordan Kardosh. Might be reading a little bit about Checkpoint Charlie right now, which is a super interesting. If you guys know anything about the Berlin Wall, whew, what a drama that is. Didn't I used to model? No. I did one photo shoot for a Michael Kors thing way back in the day. But it wasn't like a modeling thing, it was like an editorial thing in a magazine, which is pretty embarrassing. Do I ever do comedy at the stand? Yes. Do I ever do the Comedy Cellar? Comedy Cellar I've yet to do. That's like the top. And maybe one day, I have a lot of friends in there, so it's just a matter of kind of committing myself to doing that. Lately, I've been doing stand-up more and more, but I've been trying to build this business, let's call it that hasn't given me as much time to devote to stand-up, but one day I'll be there. Self-publish your book on Amazon? Yeah, maybe, we'll see. Do I shower with my hat on? Yes. It's actually sewed into my head. Dream job. I don't know. I think my dream job would be to have my own show where I just travel around, do this kind of stuff everywhere. But not necessarily the lives. I prefer the camera stuff and get to interview people, show people different places and people. I think that's the coolest thing, man, is interviewing people. I love interviewing people, but it's such a pain in the ass to set up. So I just do the walks. It's much easier. I'm only popular because I'm attractive. There are other tour guides who know a lot more. Well, then go watch their channel. Pretty simple. I see Action Kid has invaded my hometown, LA. Yeah, Action Kid is there, man. That's great. I think people would like to know why Tudor City is so high up. Well, this whole area was actually hilly. Like, it was hilly, and it was actually used to be like a very industrial area, and it got bought up, and it was actually developed as this Tudor like the architecture and stuff. So let's see. I'm sure Staten Island. I'll be there. I'll be in Staten Island soon, baby. I gotta make it out there. What's your favorite bar other than McSorley's? Good question. Yeah, you knew I was going to say McSorley's. McSorley's is cool. I would say I like Kettle of Fish in the West Village. That's a cool place. I like. Oh man, that's tough. I like the little dive bars, to be honest. Am I writing a book? What's my favorite speakeasy? I'm not a crazy fan of speakeasies, to be honest. I don't know why. I feel like they're kind of a scam because they're not, they're like fancy drinks stuff, but they're super expensive, and it's all just because they're hidden away that they feel like they can charge you, $25 for a drink. Gotcha Hall is cool, actually. I live kind of close to that. I recommend it to everyone. Cool, man. Appreciate it. McSorley's is the best, though. Someone was asking me what my favorite bar is. McSorley's is kind of the best, man. I think you can't beat it. It's like a museum in there. They have an original Wanted poster of John Wilkes Booth in there behind the bar, which is very cool. I will do a tour of Astoria, Queens. It's very, very spread out and it's very large, so I haven't gotten a chance to do that. I have not been to Nearest Tavern, which is where they did Goodfellas, actually. I want to go. Yeah, I know. I live in Queens. Do not wear a baseball cap in Europe. I won't. Don't worry. I'll have my hair nice and combed. But yeah, that's kind of that. Did you really chat with AOC at the bar? Yes, I did. That's a true story. I was actually kind of like, one of her regulars and friends that are there at the bar. In fact, here's a funny story. She was actually going to start doing stand-up comedy. I used to run an open mic, and she was very close to actually going to the open mic and trying it out because she used to write a political blog. And yeah, I can already foretell the joke. You're like, oh, doesn't she still do comedy in Congress? Yeah, okay, good joke. That's a pretty obvious joke. Everyone always says that joke whenever I say that. But she almost did comedy. And I remember she was. It was interesting because she was very like nervous about running for office, and it was very small, and it just took off, and she beat that guy, and it was pretty kind of interesting how it all happened. And then she was on, I guess, like on the late night shows the next day. It was pretty nuts. Favorite hobbies? I like to play the guitar. No big deal. Play the guitar. Okay. Play the guitar. Read. Read a lot. And yeah, read a lot. Read some books. And then walk around the city. Travel. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few McSorleys in Dublin. It's a bunch, I'm sure. The best hotel in New York? There aren't too many affordable ones. Play StarCraft, yeah. My sister, we used to play a lot of StarCraft growing up in high school. Good game, actually. Anyways, I don't know how much longer maybe I should go to a more well-lit place. You're a bass player? We should start a band, Adrian. Just around here. Who's this? Oh, Ricardo. Oh, thanks for the $10, dude. Enjoy a coffee, amigo. Thank you. Sorry, I'm bad at seeing the super chats. I'm still getting all used to all this stuff, to be quite honest. What do I not like about New York? How expensive it is. That's what I don't like about it, to be honest. I don't like how expensive it is, and I don't like how it's not doing a whole lot to ease those problems. But I think that's there's that guy Jeremiah Moss was telling you about that book, Vanishing New York. He had a funny quote saying that he thinks New York is being remade for people who don't like New York. So like the people who aren't necessarily about the diversity, who aren't necessarily about the intermingling and all that stuff. It's being built as like a gated community. All the big giant condos with all their self-sustained, gym and everything in the building already. The segregation pretty much of these neighborhoods. All these things are for people who aren't really about the city, quote, city life. And it's kind of sad. But the beautiful thing about New York is that it's huge. So, there's still places for the immigrants to hang out and the immigrants to live and afford. And you can't say that about cities like San Francisco, for example. San Francisco is so small, land-wise, that it's hard to find a place to live if you don't have money in the city. So you have to live outside of the city. Here, the city's so huge, you can go to Queens, you can go to Staten Island, you can go to Brooklyn, the Bronx, and still be in New York. So that's one of the nice things. All right, I'm gonna walk around here, find a place to sit over here in the light. All right. You're suspicious of people who don't like New York. Well, I guess, some people, I don't know. It's not for everybody, I guess, You don't find too many elderly people in New York City, for example, because, life isn't easy here unless you just stay put in your borough or something like that. I want a city with energy and movement and action. And, if you're in a stage in life or you're looking for something else, you're looking for beaches, you're looking for nature or whatever, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you're looking for that energy and stuff, this is it. All right, let's go somewhere else. Oh, Patricia, plug in the Patreon, thanks. Don't forget my coffee. The Bronx is changing. That's true. I'm actually going to be doing a video on the Bronx here very soon. I have a meeting on Monday with a friend of mine who owns a business in the Bronx and is very well connected. I'm going to start setting up something really cool there. I'm excited about it because I'm going to be talking a lot about this stuff here on that video for sure. Same with the Harlem video. I'm going to be doing a video on Harlem as well very soon. Those are two videos that I've kind of saved because they're such huge topics. I don't want to just walk around the neighborhood and talk about, so I definitely want to try to interview people and get to the real stuff about those neighborhoods because you can't talk about either of those neighborhoods without talking about gentrification. So if you want a puff piece, go somewhere else, baby. Hopefully you don't get priced out of Staten. It's funny, there's a book called Super Sad True Love Story. Place in New York in like the distant future. And and what's funny about it is that it's like a dystopic novel about New York. And in it, it's like supposedly like 70 years in the future. They don't say exactly. But what's funny about it is that in that book, Staten Island is where all the hipsters live and all the young people live. Harlem has changed a lot, you're right. All right, I say, oh gosh, gotta find a place to stand here. I feel so naked out here. 645 viewers, what? Where are you seeing that? I see 546. I'm gonna go sit down somewhere. All right, we're walking back kind of the way we came, unfortunately, sorry. Let's get some likes. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know how many we have. I can't read anything. Older people in New York had the best stories. There's still some older people, just not as many. Yeah, I agree. You need the stories. All the stories are with the older people here, for sure. I don't know what I'm talking about, sorry. Harlem is on the rise. Shout out to Mark Norman for turning on to Tom's channel on the We Might Drunk. Yeah, Mark Norman's the best, man. Super funny comic. If you guys like stand-up comedy, you guys should check out Mark Norman. He has a special on YouTube. He actually, it blew up over pandemic. Smart guy. He put his special on YouTube, and since he's such a good comic and he's been around for so long, it exploded, and he kept all of those. We were talking earlier about how people are keeping. That's kind of what he did. He exploded because his special was so big, and instead of giving all that money to Netflix or whatever, he's kept all of it in with his subscribers and all the ads that he can now run and Patreon patrons and all that stuff. So it's kind of interesting. All right, I'm gonna get off here at the. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I can tell you things about Williamsburg, Brooklyn in the 1970s. Yeah, it wasn't the place to be back then. Now it's not in the place to be anymore, even now. It's kind of changed a lot already. It's already super expensive. It's almost like Soho. All right, let's see if I can find a spot to sit here. You know who used to live around here, guys? We're walking around this area is Truman Capote used to live right near here, right near that UN. Sorry if I'm walking too fast. I'll be sitting down soon, and I want to end this real quick here very soon, so don't worry. No, you're thinking of it's how Mark Norman died. No, Norm Macdonald died, unfortunately. He was very funny. Now, yeah, Mark Norman's different. Why are there so many scaffoldings over New York? Because they're constantly, well, because you need scaffolding to construct anything, to fix anything. And there's a funny quote about New York saying that New York will be a beautiful city if they ever finish it. And it's because they're always trying to do something. So I can find a spot to sit here. All right. Oh, here's a spot. I really am just kind of like walking around aimlessly. What's my favorite coffee place? I don't know. I don't really have one. There's a little Colombian bakery near my house. That's where I go every day for my coffee and stuff. It's really loud over here. So this is all, by the way, this is all Midtown East. Oh, and also too, scaffolding. You're talking about scaffolding. There's a really cool TV show on HBO called How To with John Wilson. Really great, man. I really recommend anyone who likes New York, check out this show. It's called How To with John Wilson. And it's like this kind of, if you like walking videos too, there's this guy who's a filmmaker but takes video all over New York. And it's all these little like documentaries, mini documentaries about stuff. And it's all using just regular people and sites of the city. And he puts together, and he has one that's an episode about scaffolding in New York. So I really recommend checking him out. And it takes place in New York. I gotta sit down. Oof, man, I've been walking. This is nuts. I kind of want to like find a place to sit or stand or whatever. There's one. Yeah, I found one. I should just go stand in that kiosk, that NYPD kiosk. Yeah, he goes to a scaffolding convention. That's true. It's funny. It's super funny. But it's very cool. He does like a lot of cool stuff. So I really recommend checking out How To with John Wilson. Reading a great book by FDR, huh? FDR, part of the Roosevelt clan, the Roosevelt's famous Knickerbocker family. I'll sit here. This is good. I think this is a good spot here. I found a chair. Oh. Let me see if I can turn this around. All right, look at me. I found a chair, guys. This is nuts. Hey, look at me. I'm sitting in a chair next to a bunch of trash. Well, it's not trash, it's recycling, so it's not that bad. Let me see if I can fix this here. All right, there we go. There we go. Look at me. I'm sitting here. And now we got a spot where you can sit and talk. The other thing I want to see is kind of cyberpunk. I don't know what that is. Oh, like Blade Runner? Not really. I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. It's pretty safe. It's actually the opposite of cyberpunk at this point. That will be the new Brooklyn Heights about 20 years ago. So let's see. All right. So here I am, guys. I'm sitting here. We're getting. Thank you. Finally. All right. It took me a little time. Chill out. We're sitting here, Midtown East. This is where I used to work. Unfortunately, back in the day. What high school I go to? I went to Jesuit High School. You should get a 360 camera. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what the hell that is, but maybe. Buddy, can you spare a dime? I don't know what that means. Is that a reference? Is that a reference to something? Oh, cool. You just subscribe. Everyone who's in here. You guys, there's 534 people in here right now. If you're one of those 534 people who hasn't subscribed, fix that. Just go ahead and subscribe. That helps a ton. Also, too, my sister put in the Patreon. That's a big help. Only Manhattan is a real NYC. Everyone else is a distant stepdaughter. No one ever talks about. I would disagree with you there, because what defines New York, the immigrant experience, the artists, the struggling artists, the people who come here with hunger and dreams and all that, they can't afford being in Manhattan. So they go to Queens, they go to Brooklyn. That's where they live. If you're in Manhattan, you have a lot of money or whatever, and so it's a little different. Granted, it is still the center. It's where everyone works, where all the publishing, everything is still based here. But the people live elsewhere. So I would say if you want the immigrant experience, you want to see what it would have looked like, let's say in Little Italy back in the 1800s, in one of those different places, you go to, let's say, Flushing, or you go to Jackson Heights. So I would kind of disagree. Although you can't really separate New York without any of it. There are no boroughs that you can take out and then just keep New York. New York is like the sum total of its parts, man. Like each part kind of plays a role. So. Yeah, this is the POV, baby. We made it. You can see my face. I feel weird like talking in this little thing. But what book am I currently reading? Let me show you what I'm currently reading. This is the book I'm actually reading. That's in my bag that I'm going to read as I head back home. It's this. It's called Checkpoint Charlie. It's about the Berlin Wall in Berlin. Yeah, spoiler alert. That's the city I'm going to. You guys deserve to know. You guys stuck it around to the end. I'm going to Berlin. I already booked my flight. I'll be doing a video there, so that's going to be really cool. Please take my hat off. No, I'm going to keep it on. And my hair I didn't shower today, so it's really disgusting. Sorry, I'll take it off in a future video. You can look at some of my old videos if you want to see my hair. Tote bag to the rescue. Yeah, I used to carry around a backpack, but the tote bag's just much easier. Don't do a man bun. Don't worry, I won't. What Peter? You're a lifelong resident. That's cool. Berlin Marathon was this morning. You're right. It was. Hey Tom, isn't there a terrace court in Grand Central? Yes, there is. If you go to the elevator, I think you go to the 4th floor, you'll see it. How long does it take you to finish a book? Depends on the book. Depends on how much traveling I do, because that's where I read on the subway. It's the best. Let's keep Staten Island as our forgotten borough. You're right. It is. It is forgotten. There's a lot of Staten Island's huge too. People don't realize how big it is. It's bigger than Manhattan. But people don't realize it. No one ever goes there. No one ever visits. It's also not very well connected. Subway. There is no subway. There's a little train that goes through it, but it's not easy to get around. So that's one of the reasons why people don't go there. Yeah, thanks Patricia DCNP. You guys should follow her on Instagram. She puts a lot of cool stuff up about being a nurse practitioner in dermatology. Lots of tips. I did do a video in Gramercy Park actually. It's on my my Patreon. You can see it. I've been into Gramercy Park a couple times. Friends of friends have keys there, so I actually helped someone proposed to his girlfriend there. A friend of mine from Tampa actually came here, and I got him in to propose to his girlfriend in Gramercy Park. It's pretty cool. Will I do a tour in China? One day, hopefully. That's the plan. You're gonna travel the world, baby. You're gonna do every neighborhood in the entire world. What was the book that I mentioned about a future New York? It's called Super Sad True Love Story. It's Gary Steingart is the author. It's not the best book ever, but it's cool to hear his take on what the future of New York looks like. So I recommend that. I'm gonna plug in this. I'm gonna plug in my phone's about to die, so I gotta plug in the battery. I come prepared, baby. Thanks to my patrons, I'm able to get some of this little equipment here. Yeah, you can see all my paid books on Patreon. My sister plugin. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, the Patreon's very important. That's my favorite book. My favorite book about New York is that's tough. There's a bunch. I'll throw them out. I actually talked about them in my last live. This is good about lives though. My favorite book's Gotham is one. Amazing book. Every chapter is an epic tale. Another one is Wrestling with Moses. It's about Jane Jacobs constantly battling with Robert Moses over the development of New York in the mid-1900s. Island at the Center of the World. It's about New Amsterdam and Dutch New York and how it influenced today's New York. Also Vanishing New York, very good about the changing New York. Also Life and Death of Great American Cities by Jane Jacobs, very good. I recommend that. Also too, what else, man? Oh, the Bowery Boys, amazing podcast. You guys like podcasts? I think I'm going to start one day soon, so I don't want to plug theirs too hard. But if you like podcasts, the Bowery Boys is an amazing New York podcast, and they have a book called Adventures in Old New York. So I really recommend that. American Passage, that's cool. That's it. Someone was talking about American Passage. I actually am reading that right now as well. That's at home. That's my book at home. It's about Ellis Island. Island at the Center of the World is great. Also, The Great Bridge, amazing. Great Bridge, amazing book. That's by Dave McCullough, who's an amazing historian, and it's about the Brooklyn Bridge. You can't beat that. What's the best music gig I've seen in New York? I actually saw, this is a cool story, I saw Bruce Springsteen at Giant Stadium. His last concert ever at Giant Stadium, I was there. He wrote a song called Wrecking Ball for it, and I went and saw him. He played all of Born to Run all the way through, and then songs on both ends. It was the best concert I've ever seen. Yeah. No, he wrote them all. Look at that. Someone wrote all the books. There they are. Yeah, those are some of my favorite books. I'd say movie-wise, I can't suggest enough. Favorite book in general, probably 1984. Huge fan of 1984. That's a really great book. I've read it a couple times. It's a really fun book. But anyways, I was saying, documentary-wise, you have to see Rick Burns' documentary, New York, a documentary. It is so incredible. Actually, when I started as a tour guide, that's the first thing I watched, and it inspired me to really push myself. Yeah, Giant Stadium is in Jersey, I know that. Yes, I'd say New York, the documentary by Rick Burns. It's on PBS. It's 17 hours. It's like eight videos long, but it's so good. I really recommend it. Thank you so much, Steve. Really enjoyed the tours. $13.99 Canadian dollars, baby. I'll take it. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, Steve 35. I've never been to see Billy Joel at Madison Square, unfortunately. Favorite movie is Con Air. That is incorrect. No, not Ken Burns. His brother, Rick Burns. Rick Burns is Ken Burns' brother, and he did the documentary about New York, so check it out. Up in the Old Hotel, I've read. It's good, by Joseph Mitchell, about the Chelsea Hotel. Yes, very good. Network is a very good New York narrative movie I just saw recently. Very good about TV and selling out and what it's like and all that stuff. Very good. Yeah, PBS you love. Yeah, West Side Story. I actually haven't seen West Side Story. I have to see it. Much love to you guys. All right, now we made it here. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this, by the way. I really feel like greetings from Germany, huh? Guten Tag. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich lerne gern Deutsch. Will you ever do a tour of Prospect Park? Yes, I'm actually preparing it now. There's so many places to cover. I'm trying to edit the one I'm doing now. Another great stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. How to become so knowledgeable. I just read, I guess, a lot, and I don't know. It's let me see here. Comedy show. Yes, if you guys are in New York too, this is where I'll plug something. I ain't afraid to plug. Yeah, in New York, if you live in New York, I run a weekly show at a place called Poco in the East Village. It's at What Else Comedy on Instagram, at What Else Comedy, and it's every Wednesday. It's super fun. And listen, if you're in New York, you got to go to the underground shows, underground comedy shows, underground music shows. Those are the best, because any idiot with a guide or whatever, a forwarder's guide or whatever, can go to any of the comedy clubs in the city. But you really got to know about the underground stuff to go to those, and those are usually the most fun. So it's every Wednesday at Poco in the East Village at What Else Comedy. So follow at What Else Comedy on Instagram, and follow at TomDNYC on Instagram too. And I put all the information for that stuff on there as well. Not super active on Instagram, but I'm trying to get better. So follow me there. Crypto or banks, I don't know, man. I don't even have that much money to like invest in all that stuff. So I'm just trying to pay rent. Hey, one day, tips on taking the bar exam, don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. Take the bar exam. I'd say for the bar exam, start really cracking down and don't do anything but study starting around the beginning of July. That's really the kind of cutoff if you're doing it over the summer, I guess. Did you ever read those awesome books about the Dakota? No, I don't think so. Oh, you're talking about your books, Scott. Scott Cardinal wrote books about the Dakota. You should check them out. So, Winterton. Network, I'm so angry. Yeah, I'm so angry. I'm not gonna take it anymore. Yeah, that's from Network. It's really great. Hi from Seville, Spain. What's interesting about Network is it kind of predicted today. Like, this is made in like the 70s, and some guy kind of loses his mind on air, and the network kind of pumps it because people loved watching this guy lose his mind. And it reminds me of like Instagram and stuff like that today, where we just promote these people like TikTok stars, all that stuff. We're just insane, whatever. You know, this is coming from a guy who's talking to a camera in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, but so take that with a grain of salt. But I'd like to think I'm not totally insane yet. Más tours en español, por favor. Well, they're coming, man. I'll try to get more time to do those. Would I ever be a professor? Maybe. I don't know. That'd be fun. That would be fun. Greetings from social. Aspiring attorney. Just graduated USC. Oh, cool, man. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy law. Know what law you want to go into, baby. That's the most important thing. Talk to lawyers who do what you think you want to do, and get to know what it really is day to day. Because a lot of people get to law or get to the job and they're like, "Yikes, this is law. This sucks." So just be sure you know what you want to do, and you're doing something that isn't a total surprise. Don't you have to do? All right. I don't know, guys. Let's see. All right. What's my degree in? Political science. Political science. I was a political science major. And then, go figure, political science majors tend to become YouTube streamers. No, that's not true. They just have a tough time finding jobs if they don't do law. It's usually pre-law. I went to law school, political science major. It was cool. I liked it a lot. Read everything. I still read all that stuff, so it's super interesting to me. I have to do more of these live streams. I will. I'll do more. I'm going to try to do one a week. That's the shoot. I'm going to shoot for one a week. I'm going to try to start announcing them a little sooner, too. I'll put them on this is the worst background I could have picked. I could have been, like, in front of, like, the Statue of Liberty, so I'm in front of a wall and a bunch of, trash bags over here. Anyways, graduate from Political Science USA. Oh, cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do more of these. I'm gonna try to like announce them with more time as well. Put them on Instagram and all that stuff. I want to just kind of tweak it and get better at it before I make them too public. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Any questions? Time to sign off. Take a break. Yeah, you're right. I should take a break. You're right. I feel bad. I'm just like dragging you guys all. But I thought I'd answer some questions. If you guys have any other questions, throw them out here. Have I ever visited Rockefeller State, North of the City? No, I have not been there. So yeah, I'll do this for a couple more minutes. Answer any questions you guys have. Comedy shows coming every week, baby. Daniel Diaz every week, every Wednesday. Go to @What Else Comedy. That's where I put all the information for that. So follow that on Instagram. Been relocated. Best neighborhood to live, single, young male, under 3,000 a month, easy access to Midtown South. I don't know. The East Village tends to be the best like singles area. All the young people live in the East Village, live in the Lower East Side, all that area. So 3,000 is a pretty good budget. So you shouldn't have a hard time finding a place. Have I ever thought of teaching English? No. What else? @What Else Comedy on Instagram. There you go. Thanks, Patricia. Fastest talker on YouTube. I'm trying to cram it all in. I'll slow down a little bit. Best pizza place in New York, Bleecker Street Pizza, the Nona Maria slice. That's my favorite. People have very, very hey, what's up, man? People have very passionate opinions on this. Take that with a grain of salt. Let's see here. What are people? Oh, thank you so much, Bent Rail Productions. Do I MC the comedy show or have a set? Both. I MC it and do set every week. Do I have any pets? No. You missed the Pop-Tart store on 42nd Street. Do I write jokes or come to me spontaneously? Everyone writes jokes, but you also do crowd work and mess spontaneously. That's a big part of it. You need a website with all the info on tours and stuff. I don't really do a ton of tours. If you want to do a tour, I only do private ones. Contact me through Instagram. That's usually how people contact me, or through my email. It's on my website. Oh, thanks. Dean Del Rey digs my comedy show. That's great. I'm glad. Ben Rail. Thank you so much, Ben Rail. I need to set up a website. I haven't updated it. I'm sorry. I need a shower. I will shower, Scott. Relax. I'm going to shower when I get home. Love the live. I'm glad. Best Neapolitan pizza. The margarita you're talking about, the margarita pizza, that's kind of what the Nona Maria slice is, actually. It's kind of like a margarita. It's very good. Yeah, a few upcoming events. Well, every Wednesday, you want to check out a comedy show. That's usually the best thing to see. I'm doing a show at the Friars Club, actually, tomorrow. I'm doing a set on that. That should be fun. It's a free show, I think. I'm doing that. I'll post about that on my Instagram, so follow my Instagram. Do I use bath bombs? Absolutely not. How was Austin? Very cool. I'm glad you guys enjoyed my live stream. I'm freaking everybody out. Drink of choice. Water? Get a private NYC tour with me. Oh, let's do it, baby. I'm ready. I'll be able to make the show this Wednesday, Tom. Well, whatever. Oh, hey, Kia and Nick. Awesome. Hey, what's up, man? Kia. So Kia has come to the show. Kia and Nick are regulars at the show, and they actually found it through the video, and they just love the show, and they've been a few times to the Wednesday show. So see that? Come to the Wednesday show. Ever had pizza marinara? No cheese? No. My favorite pizza on Staten. Nunzio's. Okay, yeah, I've heard that's very good. Thank you for the walk, Tom. Northern Ireland. Cool, I'll be there. Favorite season on tours? My favorite season to do tours right now, September and October, the best time. It's nice out. I would love to shoot a tour in Ellis Island. It's a pain in the ass there because they're very strict with cameras and stuff like that. You know, so it's a little difficult to do that. Yeah, do tours all year. Just contact me and I'll set something up. If I'm in town, I'll do it. Yeah, Patsy's East Harlem. Right. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. I think we're kind of getting to the end. I've you know, exhausted you. I've exhausted myself. You know, I'm ready to kind of go shower, eat. Yeah, that's right. The Urbis is in Ireland. I would love to travel. I think I'm going to start traveling a little more and doing stuff outside of the city and in other. I just love to read, and I've read already a couple books about Berlin. This is the third one I'm reading now. And by the time I'm there, I'll have read a bunch. I'll be very informed and be able to put something cool together for you guys. And I'm also going to try to interview a couple people there. So it should be fun. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Bitch, Maz, do a collab. I don't know what that means, but sounds good to me. 2:42. I'm going to do it for a few more minutes, and then we'll just close this out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, if you have any questions, shoot them out, and I'll gehen Sie nicht. Don't go. Why not? Thanks, Greg. Yeah, we're too close for comfort to where I used to work. I'm 2 blocks from there. Up here is where I worked for 4.5 years. This company that got bought out by Thomson Reuters. How's the trash smell? It's actually recycling, so it's not that bad. What else? Your tips on making a tour video? I don't know, just shoot it. I think you kind of learn as you go with all these things. I remember, so when these videos started out as I made a pilot. I made a pilot video. I was going to pitch it as a TV show, actually. So I made this pilot. I paid a bunch of money to make a pilot. It was like 8 minutes long. And then I started pitching it at different places around the city, and they're like, cool, this is nice, but who are you? So no one gave me money. So I was like, screw it. I got myself a camera, taught myself to edit, all this stuff, and I just started shooting them myself. And then I eventually stumbled on the format that I use now by accident, but I just kept doing it. Why Berlin? Because my lady friend, my girlfriend, is actually going there, and she used to go to school there, so I'm going with her, and I'm gonna hang out there with her. It's gonna be very fun. In-person tour, go through my Instagram at TomDNYC. All of you guys should follow at TomDNYC, so you guys will stay up to date. That's where I post about shows, post stuff about anything. So just to keep in touch with me. If you're not on Patreon, Patreon's also great. I check that more often than I do Instagram, but if you're not on Patreon, Instagram would be great. Thank you so much, pitching wings. I wish I came up with wings, man. If I TV show Wings. All right, I'm starting to creep people out here. I think I'm gonna start getting my stuff approved. Why am I not doing lives with Sarah? She's doing her own thing. She's doing her own thing. We're both busy. It's not you know, not the end of the world. I'm trying to just branch out and do all kinds of different stuff. Is the building where Warhol had his factory? Yes, that building is down near Union Square, actually. Carry device about the law. Make sure that hit the jazz clubs in Berlin. Will do. Do I like Seinfeld? The comedian or the show? The show's great. His comedy's okay. I'm not the hugest fan of Seinfeld's actual comedy. It's okay. Oh, Action Kid's the best, man. Action Kid's a good friend of mine. Really funny. Like, kind of, you know, started out doing videos with him. Actually, it was really fun. All right, guys. I don't know. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. This is a record for me. Out of the 2 videos I've done, this is the record for my length of video. So yeah, thank you so much, Bernie Gonzalez. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. I will be doing these hopefully once a week. I'm planning on doing them either Saturdays or Sundays, so more people can go. Try to beat the record of 600 people this time. We'll beat it next week. But yeah, please follow on Instagram if you want to stay up to date. Also, please check out the Patreon. That's a huge help. That is how I fund these things. That's how we're gonna grow this thing, baby. That's it. That's the answer, I think. Keep it independent. Keep it, you know, honest as much as I can and all that. And you know, I really appreciate you guys watching. I really do. And I tried this as an experiment last week. It worked out pretty well. I'm gonna try to keep upgrading something about these videos every week. This past video, I upgraded the cell phone service. I also got a new program to check the speed and all that stuff. So this is a little better. Hopefully next week it's even better. Next week it's even better, and then all that stuff. And then I'm gonna be releasing this video that I'm editing right now very soon. Yeah, guys. Any other questions? Huh? Come to Jersey for a video. One day, baby. One day I'll be there. One day, very soon. Drink some Starbucks. No, no, thank you. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any questions? Discussion, as my teacher used to say in the 9th grade. What I used to edit, Premiere Pro. Next vid is Battery Park City, actually. I did Battery Park City, so spoiler alert. All you guys who tuned in, you guys get the heads up on that. So don't forget to watch it and like it and comment, all that stuff. Giving you guys a heads up. Moving to NYC on Friday. Hell yeah, welcome. Let me know if you need a good comedy show rec. Do I know Nance Turner? I have no idea who Nance Turner is. What's getting COVID like? I couldn't taste or smell. I was extremely tired. I got tired getting up to go to the bathroom. I am still friends with Sarah, yes. What's my zodiac sign? Gemini. Why are you still here? It's a good question. All right, I'm gonna go. Alex gave me the yeah. Support me on Patreon, please. Thank you, Scott. If you can, that would really. I would like to do the Edinburgh Fringe. I'm gonna do it very soon. I promise. I'm working on a little show about New York. We'll see what happens with that. Did Blasio get reelected? No, he didn't. Would I prefer to live alone? We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. We'll see where I end up living very soon. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. We made it to the end. Holy Lord, we're going. Dear Lord. Okay, so that's it. It's very loud here. I'm sitting next to these trash bags. I'm gonna go. It's 2:49. We made it very far. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you guys who stayed around the whole time, you guys are saints. You guys are really nuts in a good way. So I'm gonna leave and go home, shower. Gotta start editing. I got a show tonight, and yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. God bless you, Nicholas Sanchez, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, Pierre, thank you so much. Paul, thank you. Chainsaw killer, that's right. This is my Charles Manson look. Just went to the barber and told him, give me the Charles Manson. And gonna leave, yeah. All right, gonna go get some coffee. All right, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Patricia, say hi to Patricia. Patricia. But thank you guys so much. Yes, Patreon, all that stuff. All right. I will see you guys later. All right. Thanks again, guys. I'll get out of here.